Welcome to the Sunday morning comic book hangover show. My name is Hagen of Lettuce Comics, and we are trying to figure out what Dope's real name is. And I'm joined in that endeavor by Nate from Hollywood Comics and Eric from Nine Panel Grid. How are y'all doing?
Doing great. Doing
I'm
great.
doing fantastic. If for my money, also, I think it's Reginald, the name. That's just what I'm thinking. I don't know
Reginald.
for sure, but I got good money on it.
I'm thinking Archibald, which is sort of the same vein. It's definitely
Right.
like a Victorian English name for sure.
It just
I
rings
was
true,
going with
right?
Dope Regard.
Mhm.
I
Dope
think
regard.
Yeah.
You guys are
One
gonna
day
have
we'll crack
to.
the
You guys are gonna have to give me some leeway because I woke up 7 minutes ago. I cut it
You
very
guys.
close for today's show.
Oh, dude, I got the cup, and then I got the French press. So I'm hoping that I'm coming prepared. this
Very,
morning.
You are
very nicely done.
Yes, yeah.
completely fancy. I will like text and beg someone downstairs to bring me extra coffee, maybe.
I'm
Or
gonna
I'll
have to
get
use
Coffee,
my.
chop, chop.
I'm gonna have to use my own 2 feet to walk
might
in
have to
there at
today,
some
too.
point.
I might have to too. Well, God, they're chatting it up already.
I was about to
Look
say
at 'em
before
go.
we get into it, we should first talk about everybody that's chatting it up. The first person is Condition Not Considered, who I believe is a friend
Chris.
of Matt from Impressed Comics.
No, he's a friend of mine.
A friend of yours, okay.
Yeah. Fellow teacher.
And then K Munin the Scoffer. How are you
Oh.
doing?
I have a secret package going to him soon.
Ooh.
Hopefully tomorrow.
Eric of Himbo, which
Eric.
he's been giving me Star Trek novel recommendations, which is always fun.
He'll do that.
I asked for them.
You know, well, let me know which ones you want because I have his doubles and I also have a ton that I bought, so I can ship you a few.
Anything to do with Next Gen and anything to do specifically with Q.
Well,
The Q stories are my
Hey,
favorite.
I can't give you my copy of Q in Law.
That's fine.
Where he marries Loxana Troy.
That's
just.
I understand. Every single one of those needs to be gilded. Sorry, Matt from Impressed Comics. Hey, bud, how are you doing? Eric from SideQuest, you got beat by like 8 people today.
Oh, wow.
Shame on you. For shame, sir. Michael. JSS Brooklyn. Hope everybody nominated him for Blue Wrench of the Quarter. That's the award, right?
Yes.
Nate, you're here. Thanks for being here.
I am.
Brian.
Brian.
Local comic stud. How are you doing, sir?
Sure is.
Rich from Big Nasty. Hey, man. Let's see. Who else have we got? Matt from Matt Likes Comics.
Hey, Matt.
Hey, dude. Cliff is here.
Cliffy.
Back. Yes, we are the sort of gentle yet awkward foreplay to get your comic this morning started.
We make everybody else shine by comparison.
Get it together, Hagen. I'm sorry, man. I'm doing my best. Let's just not talk about it.
Look, a 9:30 a.m. Sunday show, let's just admit, it wasn't the most thought out idea we've ever had.
No.
We didn't think about where we would be at that time of day.
It's very cute that you guys are complaining about 9:30. Just throwing that out there for a Pacific time person.
Okay, yeah, West Coast.
Yeah. Good morning to everyone.
RPO Collectibles. Hey, man, how are you?
Hey, how are you?
And I think the last person, but not the least person, is Doug, the comic collector.
Doug.
Hey, man.
Hey, man.
Okay, so 9-panel grid. Fun fact, every comic book page that you've ever seen is made out of a 9-panel grid, except for the ones that aren't. So, knowing that, why did you pick that name?
Couple reasons. One, it sounds incredibly pretentious, and I was really going for that pretentious sounding thing. The second thing is that I knew across all of the comic book YouTube platform, if you're talking about comics, you're gonna say the words 9-panel grid eventually. And every time I'm on a show and someone does it, they go, and that makes me feel good. So it all worked out in the end.
Speaking of pretentious, I went back and watched your very first video.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Did you give it a thumbs down?
No, it's really like it's good. Like all of the elements that you do are there. Like it you know what I mean? Like you're still you're still presenting. You had a catchphrase at the beginning, like you were set up and ready to go. And it's about a little over a year ago that you started, right?
And zero improvement across the board.
No, not at all. Like, I mean, you're set up right now. Like I've been looking into how do I get this, like, I want light here, but not back there more kind of thing, like what you've got.
Yeah, I can tell from your camera quality that you go for pretentiousness.
It looks good. It sounds good. You've got a good presenter radio voice. You do a good job of laying out the plots and things. But yeah, I went back and watched that first video and was like, man, everything was already there from the get-go. You just kind of honed it over the year and made it more polished. But
yeah, it's kind of funny. Like the background scenes of all of that comes by way of like a bunch of my friends already having YouTubes for years at that point. And I told myself,
okay.
I'm not going to do this. I'm not going to do this. Maybe I'm going to do this. And no, I'm not going to do this. Definitely. And after years, like I wore myself down and then I got a couple things and I was like, well, let's play the what if game. Let's play the maybe game and just see what this all looks like. And before I knew it, I was doing it. So really it all came by way of like the better part of like 3 years of planning. So by the time that I was doing it, I was just like, okay, well, this is how I'm going to do this. This is how I want this to look. And then we'll fine tune as things go on. But like I put so much thought into it because I'm a planner at heart. That's kind of just the way that my brain operates. So I was like, okay, well, let's make sure that you have everything controllable, like done and checked off your list before you ever consider even hitting record. And so far it's worked out for me.
So those friends that had YouTube channels before you, were they comic book YouTubers or did they do something else?
Comic book YouTuber. So just like a lot of the landscape, there was like that COVID boom of channels that came out. And I think that's a lot of us came back into collecting either at that time or right before that time. So we all kind of coalesced and met each other through the same YouTube chat essentially. And then through that, it just sprouted and everyone started making their own channels and kind of starting to learn the craft that is YouTube.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Very cool.
So what are those specific channels? Is it still Stu and Nick or?
Oh God, yeah. There's let me try to recollect here and make sure I don't miss anyone. It all started with Robbie Billups over at Pop Culture Philosophers. We kind of all met throughout his chats. He has a really good community that he's built over there. Fable from One Collection Down started a channel. Nick Comic Culture started a channel from there, like kind of kept expanding and growing. Stu started a channel. Taki 616 over at Collection Completes. And then, from there, everyone's already hopping on each other's show and like you start meeting new people and everything kind of the community starts growing and growing and growing from there. So yeah, it's been a really cool group of people that it's crazy to think that like I have a friend group now that like probably are some of my closest friends, if not like truly my closest friends. And yeah, we all met because of comic book YouTube. Like what a wild premise
that never happens.
No, totally never happens.
I have actually had to explain to my parents. So I've gone on not an insignificant number of vacations to meet like comic book YouTube people. And my parents, like my family doesn't know that I do this. And so I've had to come up with just like, I can't keep saying I'm going to go see a guy that I met on the internet. Like I need to think of a better lie than that.
I had to like tell my wife one time. So she's like, so let me get this straight. You're going to a different state and you're staying with a person who you met on the internet. That's it. And I'm like, yeah, that doesn't sound crazy, right? And she's like, no, not at all. You have your life insurance all up to date though, right? And I'm like, yeah, sure. Yes, absolutely.
I took my whole family to stay the night on the river in the middle of Tennessee. because of someone I met on the internet.
Funny enough,
And,
Tennessee for me as well. Look at this.
yeah,
Tennessee seems to
there
be maybe that's like the epicenter of comic book
well,
YouTube.
that was my question. So, like, I feel like the circle that Hagen and I have kind of ended up with is kind of regional. And I don't know if that's just the way things work, but like there's a lot of, Midwest to East. Are a lot of your circle, is it more West Coast that
No,
it's
it's
no, really?
it is spread out everywhere.
Interesting.
Yeah, the people I had mentioned, we got people in New York, different parts of New York, in fact, too. We got Queens and the Bronx. We got people in Tennessee, people in Virginia. So like it is spread out everywhere. Like we have people in Wisconsin, which is close to my heart, being the person that I grew up in the Chicagoland area too. So yeah, it's spread out. In fact, I'm the only West Coaster, which means that every time a YouTube show is scheduled, they're all like, God, it's so late. And I'm rushing home
Right.
from work,
Right.
being like, I'm going to get on, guys. I swear to God.
Right.
Or in our case, we're bitching about it being 9:30 and it's like 2 a.m. for you or whatever.
It's 6:30.
However, time works. Yes.
And yeah, I mean, our circle absolutely expanded. I mean,
Mhm.
all the way to Australia and Canada,
Yes,
and
exactly.
all over the country. But yeah, I did notice that it seemed like there were several channels being suggested to me that were kind of more regional, which I think is cool too. But I didn't know if that was because of time zone or if that just was, just me.
Mhm.
Um, I wanted to ask, in addition, like before we get into things, like in addition to comic books, what other hobbies like do you have, or what other things do you collect? Do you have anything outside of comic books?
You're telling
What
me I'm
kind of
allowed to have more than one hobby? Have I been
I
doing this
mean,
wrong this entire time?
I have so many, it's not even funny. I'm always curious what other people are trying to fill their lives with.
No, it's kind of funny. Like after for a long while there, I didn't have a hobby, and it's one of those things. So I have a child, right? And after you have a kid, well, at least after I have a kid, I can't say it as a generality, but like there's the capability of losing your identity a little bit because you're in parent mode. Like keep this little thing alive for as
Yeah.
long as possible. And after a while, I had a little freak out moment where I'm like, well, wait, who am I? Like, what am I? What am I now? What defines me outside of the fact that I am a parent? And I started looking for hobbies. Like, I think that you check off the list a bunch of the common ones. Like, let's just try woodworking. Woodworking sounds like a good, it's like, let's try that. No, that didn't. I still have all 10 fingers, luckily, but like it was not working out for me.
Did you get into smoking meats?
Oh,
Did that happen?
Did we make jerky?
maybe.
This
There we
this man
go.
made jerky.
There
Here
we
we
go.
go.
Did you come up
We
with your own dry rub recipe? Come on.
It still slaps. Okay, I'm not
Yeah,
gonna
there
lie.
we go.
Very good. But you go through all those things, and as a kid, I collected comics. I was into it in a big bad way, and I was just like, well, there's a local comic shop around here. Let's just go see what this is all about. And then I found some of the writers that I really liked back in the day. Well, not like way back in the day, but like when I stopped collecting, still doing work. I'm like, well, let's pick those up and see what it's all about. And then I dove into the comic book game, and then the world shut down, and I needed a way to communicate. And then we found a bunch of people online to talk comics with. And then it just like it had its hooks in me, and there was no way it was getting out. So then I was like, it's funny. I'm not sure what your guys' collection journey is, but for me, it was like a game of, well, I'll just do this and then I'm done. And then I'll just do that and then I'm done. Totally done. And it started with like, I'm just gonna get the keys that I had as a kid, right? Just kind of complete my collection. Because when I moved to the West Coast, my collection stayed in the Midwest. There's no way I would ever have it again. So I was like, I'm just gonna get the keys. And then before you know it, I was like, well, I'm just gonna get the runs that meant something to me. And then, and it just keeps expanding, expanding until like, I have what is probably like a measly 4,000 book collection at this point. That's not a lot because I've heard, like, I talked to a lot of people like Greg from Bearded Comic Bro. He's like looking at 8,000. I'm like, you have double my collection, and I have no idea what to do with the 4,000 I already have. So,
yeah.
Yeah, Eric, you have double my collection, and I have no idea what to do with the 2,000 that I have. But
I
we all.
I might have triple your collection, Eric, and I'm drowning in it.
Jesus. Yeah, that's a lot. That's a lot.
It's a lot. I mean, when you buy new shelves so that they'll go to the ceiling to hold the boxes,
Well, yeah,
and
and
they're under all the tables.
so to answer, I guess the original question, do I have any other hobbies? Yes, organization and video editing. Yeah, that's really become my passion
Yeah.
recently. So yes, those are it all kind of coalesces around the comic book medium, right?
So
Mhm.
where you have a polish, I mean, you have a polish right now on your like
Well,
streaming camera.
with this lack of
So,
hair, I need that polish,
well,
really.
but you got that nice rim light. Like,
Yeah.
where did you practice this? Like, where did you learn this? Because video editing, it is a craft. Like there's a lot of things, especially when you're a one-man show, when it comes to like, I got to do my lighting, I got to do my sound, and you are doing it in with a dimensionality. It's not all flat. There's a lot of nuance to what you're doing, and then you're editing. You've got like nice little sound effects when you bring that, like when your book comes up, it's not just the book, there's this little whoop, like you I just love it, man. It's like so pro. Where did you learn that? Is that part of like your real life job, or did you do this hobby wise, like watching black magic training videos?
Yeah, you hit the nail on the head. It has nothing to do with my real life. It is scratching a creative itch that I had previously, but like, no, it's been watching a gazillion YouTube videos about how to make YouTube videos. And luckily, we are drowning in channels that make that kind of content, like how
Yeah.
to
Right.
become a successful million subscriber YouTube channel. They've been okay. They've gotten me into the thousands, but millions, I don't know. False
Yeah.
advertising.
Leave. Go give them a thumbs down. Then they didn't deliver. Is DaVinci Resolve your primary editor
Oh my god, it
editing
is
software?
now. Yes,
Okay.
I used to be a noob who used CapCut, and I really enjoyed it because it was so user-friendly and easy,
Hmm.
and I got myself into a routine on it, and then the TikTok ban happened, and I had a freak out moment. I'm like, "Oh, crap. They could take this away at any moment," and then what am I gonna do? Because learning this stuff is not easy, um, and then sure enough, they brought it back, and I was like, "Oh, thank God CapCut's back. Let me go ahead and do this." Then they updated their terms of service that basically said, "Well, if you edit a video for us, we basically own you now, and every piece of content is ours." And I'm like, "Crap. Okay, Da Vinci, you got me." It was actually a smooth transition though. It's a good video editing piece of software that I've started to love now a little bit, but that scares me because there's so much. Like there's like pieces of the software I never use, and I'm like, well, what could I do if that happens?
Yeah,
Yeah.
Maybe
there are entire studios that I've never bothered to click open. I don't know what the hell Fairlight is, but it scares me.
Yeah, and
Uh,
Fusion? Mm-mm. No,
oh,
I don't want
Fusion.
Fusion in my life.
Fusion is terrifying.
Yeah.
I've
Um,
I've used the Fusion tab before. It was wild, but the one of the video intros that I made that I thought was the best that nobody saw because I used copyrighted music and I don't care is the I made a spoof of the Baywatch intro using Mon Comic's face. Um, because he sent me like the first AOK for my channel, and I used the entire Baywatch intro, and I knew I was going to get dinged for it, and I just decided that I thought it was too funny to change the music. So, yeah, but that was all the Fusion channel, and it looks like crap, but it was just good enough to make me laugh. I think I have learned video editing up to a shit posting level, and not a step further than that. So I'm always very impressed by like you and like still only 35 cents or people with like a ton of polish, and you could tell how much time
Mhm.
and effort went into their videos. Like I
and
just I'm always very impressed by that.
well, like Dave at 35 cents, like he's constantly doing like multi-camera stuff too. Like, I'm here and I'm doing this. Now let's go over to the table, and it's like and it all looks great. I'm like, Jesus.
Yeah,
Where do you put the second camera? I've only got this much space.
exactly. Yeah, and it's funny, like, after you start doing it too, like, you start to realize the amount of time that 2 seconds takes to get from, like, "And now let's go look at, the top-down view," and it's like, "Oh, crap, that means" like, come on, like, we all don't have 2 cameras. Like, that means you gotta unhook your camera,
Mm-hmm.
angle it back, put it in the right spot, make sure your lighting is all correct, and it's like, "Oh my god, this is such a this is such a wonderful hassle, because I can't say it's a bad thing, right? We all still end up doing it, but
Mhm.
yeah,
Well,
it's
like
a
you said,
hassle
it's a
nonetheless, though.
it I was in a very similar boat in terms of like scratching the creative itch. Like work was
Mhm.
not providing certain, mental stimulation for me. Not
Yep.
that my work is not hard or challenging. It's just like, what I mean, that creativity part of it. So when you have those problems, I kind of like them. Like it gives me something to solve that and when I accomplish it, you know what I mean? Like you get a real sense
Absolutely.
of accomplishment from it. So
Mhm.
it's just, yeah, it's that's kind of that's cool. I would have assumed, honest to God, that you had a video production background
Yeah,
based
I
on
would
your
have too.
channel.
Well,
That was
thank you guys. That truly does mean a lot. Like, I mean, it just ended up scratching a creative itch. So, like, in my youth, and the thing that got me like into comics big time was the fact that I really liked drawing. My neighbor, who ended up like babysitting me basically when I was extraordinarily young, he ended up going to the Chicago Institute of Arts at the same time that Alex Ross was actually teaching there, and he was a comic book fan. So
wow.
it got, like that influence, like really had a hold on me. On top of that, it was the prime time for Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. Then you find out that that was a comic, albeit much different, much more violent. Um, so
Much
yeah,
better.
it, you can make that argument.
Much better.
I think all turtles are good turtles.
I do too.
Yeah.
I'll read the Archie Turtles, but I want my Mirage.
Exactly. So yeah, it's had its hooks in me for a long time, and I had this, this idea that I was going to become a comic book artist, and I did artwork all the way through high school, and I had applied to go to the Kubert School of Art, and then you realize that like
Wow.
I had hit no, but that's the thing, I hit my ceiling way early, and so I was just like, oh, I'm never going to be better than this, and then that dream dies away, and I've always been kind of like chasing to scratch that creative itch. I still doodle, but that's about as far as it goes. And I'm like,
Mhm.
oh, well, maybe this is that itch now. And it's like, it's got me. It's totally got me, because even if I didn't film my own videos, I'd be like, oh man, I would still want to edit something. I would still want to do something on this platform, because there's like a whole slew of like really cool ideas I haven't even begun to dive into yet. So maybe one day, but yeah, it's got that part of me though.
Awesome. You you do a lot. Most of like your oh God, I'm gonna misstate it now, and I just watched it. What your main videos that you put out? Your weekly has a title, and it just
On the
escaped
pull
me.
list.
On the
Yes.
pull list. I want to say on the panel. So you are reading new comics every week and doing
Yes.
reviews of them. And your turnaround time is fast. You're, Wednesday to Wednesday or Tuesday, right? Tuesdays comes out and Mondays or Tuesdays. It seems like
Sundays,
your videos
actually.
drop.
Yeah.
Sundays now.
Yeah.
Okay. I
Yeah.
watch them on Monday mornings while I'm setting up a classroom is why I'm saying Monday, I guess.
Makes sense. Yeah.
But that's a faster turnaround than I thought. So,
Well,
I
and that's
mean,
on top of filming and editing, because you have to
well, that's
bake
what
that
I
in.
mean. Like
Yeah, which is the crazy thing.
for you to read the books, digest them, come up with your spiel that your review that you're going to give, which your reviews are always seem well thought out, and honest. Like it's really good for how fast you turn it around. It's just like super impressive to me. I don't know, because I've got books from 2 weeks ago I haven't even read yet. Like, I get behind. Don't you ever get behind? You're so efficient.
Yeah, and that's the crazy thing. I definitely do get behind. Part of doing this makes you, I mean, well, first and foremost, I'm able to do it because I have a family who is very accommodating to that schedule. Yeah,
Yeah.
so like every Wednesday night, it's time to just chill and relax. I pound through about like, 5 to 10 books that night. The next day, lunch break, I'm reading books. The next day after that, or the evening after that, I'm reading books until I get to the point where I've gotten enough done to, to have a conversation about, right? I
Mhm.
try not to, I mean, there are people out there that could do 40 books a week. Obviously, I can't talk about that many books, nor can I afford that many books every single week. Yeah, so we keep it capped at a certain limit, but yeah, it all just comes by way of having a great family who knows that I love diving into this stuff. But that when you talked about, do you have other hobbies? I'm like, who has time for other hobbies? Are you kidding me? Like, what?
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, you're focused, man. It's impressive. You're a rifle and I'm a shotgun. Um, I just yeah. So let's go to cost. When it comes to new books, are you? I was wondering like how often you prioritize and maybe fall out of love with a book that you're picking up and to go for something else. Because if you're limiting, how many based on quantity, and cost. There's just a lot out there. There are some weeks that when we look at the new Wednesday list, I'm like, damn it, there's 25 books here that I would like to read, but I'm not picking all those up. So
Yeah.
how do you decide what to focus on? Because you do a good mix of big publishers and indies. So what makes you choose a book over another one?
That's like kind of the hidden benefit. I think there's good things and bad things about making content on YouTube specifically about comic books. When you're doing a weekly review, you have no excuse to not be ruthless, basically. And I'm not saying ruthless in the way that you review the book, but in the way that you decide to continue to read the book or not. Because if you're,
Yeah,
stacking things, which we're all guilty of at some points, um, like you don't want to be the guy that gets on camera and it's just like, this book sucks. This book sucks again. You know what sucks? This book. It's like you can't do that. So
right.
you get really ruthless with your pull list and you say, okay, well, if it's not good, I'm just gonna cut it. Like I'll vote with my dollar. And that way you don't have to sound like a jerk on the internet anymore, which is fantastic because who wants that in their life? So it's definitely helped out in that mechanism. And then new number ones come out and it opens up room for those kind of things. And then all of a sudden you're exploring and you're experimenting and you're finding new things that you probably wouldn't have tried because you were too busy reading. I won't say a title, but you know exactly what title I'm talking
Do
about
it.
in your head.
Do it.
No, I
I
can't do it.
mean,
Can't do it. I'm
there
too
there are
nice.
plenty, and like you said, you don't have to be negative. Like you don't have to tear something down and say it's the worst. But like,
Mhm.
I love Superman. I love Batman. I quit buying both of those ongoings because the
Mm.
value was not there for my dollar.
Oh, Superman proper is so good right now, Nate. It is so good.
Here's the thing, man. I'll read it. Here's my balance, okay? I'll read it in trade because I'll be able to find Superman in trade at my local library.
That's
Some
true.
of these number ones from Mad Cave and Boom and IDW and Dark Horse, they're probably not going to be traded, and they're probably not going
That
to
is
be at my
true.
library.
Yeah.
So I tend to be more risky now with jumping on a number one or getting something weird and taking a chance on it. Whereas the more safe stuff, I fall back. And I know I've heard Superman got really good, but I was with like Eric from SideQuest said, like I give it so many to really get me, and it's not what for that it wasn't really good or not. It was like God, it was damn it. I read this in 10 minutes, 10 minutes,
That's
and it
true.
was $5. My some of my streaming subscriptions for are a monthly cost that isn't much more than that. So 5 minutes
Yeah.
just didn't seem valuable to me for what it was. Not that it was bad. It just was like it was you gotta draw your line somewhere.
Yeah, I tend to think that if a book hasn't caught me in 3 issues, I'm
Yep.
out because 3 issues on a typical release schedule is a quarter of a year. If you can't convince somebody that they want to read your story after 3 months, then that's just not a story for that person. And I just bail at that point. But 3 is a good number for me.
I agree with you wholeheartedly. 3 is the magic number. Yeah, if you haven't gotten your hooks in a reader at that point, well, you might be writing for the trade. And that's okay too. But yeah, but like
But
Nate was saying, if
in
you're
that in that case, wait for the trade, man.
Yeah.
exactly, yeah. But if you're Mad Cave, you might not get that trade. I'm glad you shouted them out though. They're sneakily putting out really good things this
Oh
year.
my! You might be the one person who did. Did you read Wild Animals?
I loved Wild Animals, man. I'm first of all, I'm a crime comic aficionado.
I knew
Like
you would because it said in the solicitation it was like criminal. I was like, oh, I'm
check,
getting that.
check. Yes.
I'm getting that.
Yeah. Oh my God. I loved it so much. I think it needs more time to build upon the premise that it set out. But
Yeah.
man, like such it I think it had great artwork, really good story. I trust Ed Brisson already when it comes to crime driven stories. He did this really cool AWA book called Sins of Salton Sea that you think is a crime book where this mobster has a son who the mother and the son are on the run trying to get away from this family, and they fall upon this ex-criminal and kind of draws him back into this world. And you think that's going to be the story, and then it totally turns it on its head. And spoilers, I'm going to give away the twist, but it turns out that this mobster is basically sacrificing his offspring to this eldritch god, this Cthulhu-like creature. Yeah, in the Salton Sea, which if you know the story of that, it is like, this manufactured man-made sea which totally
Yes.
destroyed, the city.
Yeah. Yeah.
It takes a crazy turn, and all of a sudden you're like, "Whoa, wow, okay, I didn't see that coming," but, like, I'm still buckled up and ready for this ride because Lovecraftian horror on top of crime? Sure, I'm there. Hey, Nick.
I didn't I'd never read anything by the author before, but I got the impression in that book that there were going to be things that like you would expect to happen that are, I'm hoping, going to be twisted a little, because even in the first issue, like his recollection of his origin is not
Mhm,
completely trustworthy, right? Like,
exactly.
so I don't know. It was a wild animals. It was a wild card pick that week. And I'm really glad I grabbed it. And I only grabbed it because they compared it to Criminal. But Mad Cave, I'm really liking Buried Long, Long Ago. They have several other titles that I look at and I think I would like to read, but can't get it all. But they are just putting out. But it seems like I'm really liking the ones that I gamble on from them. So
Yes.
yeah, I hope they're doing well, because they seem to be putting out stuff I like.
I mean, the world of indie comics is a little bit crazy, so enjoy it while you can, regardless. And hopefully there's a level of success.
Very
Now, I've got
cool,
to say
man.
that people like me are so grateful for people like you, Eric, because um, to just explain that a little bit, Ricky, I disagree with very few things that Ricky from All Sorts of Words says. One of the things that I disagree with him most on, though, is he recently did a video about like stop accepting recommendations, and I can't
Oh
work
yeah.
like that. Like
Mhm.
I rely on people that I know and like understand their taste to tell me what they think of something, and then I weigh that versus what I know about our differences as to like whether or not I'm going to enjoy that thing. But I need other people to like spread their wings and try different things so that way I don't have to do it. But I do appreciate like sort of being like led and pointed, and um yeah, especially with new books, you do that very well, I think.
Well, thank you. It's kind of funny because I think that's what a lot of us, if you're looking for recommendations or reviews, that's the best thing is that like you have so many options out there that you need to truly find someone that you trust. Like, you got to watch a couple things and see like, okay, what did I think about this book? What did they think? And then you find someone with those similar tastes, and all of a sudden you can trust their recommendations. I've gotten to the point now where I'm kind of inversing that train of thought though, and I'm like, okay, well, what did I not enjoy thoroughly? And what are other people saying about it? And if it's different, what did I miss from the experience? Because, whatever, our opinions are just that, opinions. They're not factual
Yeah.
by any means. And it's really cool kind of diving in and being like, well, what did you take away from this? And is there a possibility that maybe my monkey brain just didn't pick up on the nuance of whatever this title was giving out? So it makes you kind of reconceptualize all that kind of stuff too.
Hmm. Yeah, totally.
Yeah, I have to have like I you can't even like know everything. You can't read everything for sure, but you can't even know everything that's coming out. Like you don't notice it all. Like when you look at that solicitations list, it's insane. And then your store doesn't get, certain ones, and
That's a
so then
problem,
those are hard to track down. But yeah, when I'm watching people talk about books, I just watched, Gary B, the casual comic guy, just put out a video for a 90s sword and sorcery indie book called Krey, Krey, black and
Okay.
white indie. it looked so freaking cool. Like I immediately added it to my CLZ list, and it's from 92. It's 3 issues. Never heard of it in my life. Would never have heard of it probably if he hadn't done this little, video on it. And he loves Conan and books in that vein. So if he's saying that this is a decent sword and sorcery book, again, recommendations, consider the source. I feel like I can trust him.
Yeah.
So if I see that, I pick it up, But if it was someone like, Conan sucks, what you need is this, I'd be like, ooh, that might be garbage, which would probably make me want to check it out, to be honest. Like what's the worst sword and sorcery book out there?
Well, talk about a genre that's totally, I don't know, undersung too. We don't get enough sword and sorcery in any medium. Like we don't get almost any movies nowadays. They're gone. Comics, we get a handful, but they very rarely lean into the sorcery part of it. Sword, sure, but magic. Like remember, like the boom of sword and sorcery in the 80s and how glorious that was.
Hagen doesn't, but I'll speak for.
Yeah, I'm gonna go get some coffee. Y'all need anything?
That era of Beastmaster, Deathstalker, like just made in the woods behind someone's house, 80s direct to VHS sword and sorcery. Hell yeah, man. And with all these like cheap streaming services and Tubi and all that, I'm really surprised there's not. I don't know, because the thing is, like, even though those movies were cheap and cheesy, they were done with heart. Like they really were trying to make a decent movie. Whereas a lot of the stuff now on these cheap streaming services, they're not trying to make something other than money. They're trying to clickbait the title, clickbait the cover, the poster, whatever it is you're going to click on to view it. But it's not like, I don't know, I mean, I don't know if Birdemic was serious trying to make what they made, right?
But serious.
But it's outstanding.
That
no
wasn't
matter
a documentary.
It's outstanding. It has it's got documentary footage for sure. Most of the bird footage is archival. But then there's all these movies that try to emulate that in appearance, but not in content. That it's not as fun to watch because it's stupid.
Well, those people that couldn't catch the attention of a big studio but that cared about the vision that they had, they aren't going to Tubi, they're going to YouTube. Like they're going to Vimeo. Like they are putting out their own stuff. There are stellar like horror short films on YouTube like right now. But like the Tubis and the Fubus and the Ugus and the Oubliés and whatever, those are like media mogul corporations that are just just like queen xenophobe laying eggs all across every streaming service.
Right. Yeah, I miss that. Something else about that era, Eric, is like you couldn't make it cheap. Now you can make a movie pretty cheap. You can literally do it on your phone. Back then you still had to have a camera and lights and stuff, or it looked terrible. And not that they looked great, but those movies were movies. And now it's just like everyone literally has a film studio in their pocket if they want to, but not everybody has the ability to make that look good or to tell a story with it.
Yeah, and there's the difference. And didn't Apple have someone make a movie? Like it was like Danny Boyle filmed one of his movies.
Wasn't it 28 weeks later? Wasn't it the newest?
I think he did the first one on a digital camera for the first time as opposed to film. And I could be way off on this. The first one was very low res. I can't remember how they filmed it, but like I'm one of the idiots that bought it on Blu-ray and was like, oh, so 480p on Blu-ray actually looks worse. Yes.
But I think this newer one is, it's all filmed on an iPhone. Let's put quotes around that though, because like if you look at the set photos, the rig around that iPhone is insane. It's this huge thing. They've got the ability to put lenses in front of it. It's not shot on an iPhone. It's recorded with an iPhone, but it's shot by photography professionals using professional equipment, but they are utilizing an iPhone, which is something.
Yeah.
But
it's crazy
I mean,
to think of.
that's what makes the whole YouTube platform kind of awesome, is that, literally you don't need anything. I bought a lot of bells and whistles and toys, but that's because that's what I like, that kind of crap, right? Like you said, exploring the editing is like part of it, and part of the editing is the material that you get to edit with, like how does that look when you get it raw? How does that look when you manipulate it in the color page? Terrible, by the way. That color page makes no sense to me.
But it's got a bunch of fun wheels and charts and graphs.
We'll do a little lift here, and everything's blue. Everything.
Everything's blue. Control Z doesn't do anything. I have to shut down my computer.
Just burn it. Just burn it and start over.
I delete the footage and bring it back in. So it's like, I just think anybody that not even comic books, like, I just think whatever your passion is, if you are in a space where you feel like I'm not getting to do much creatively, I'm not getting to express myself, this is a really good way to do it if you're comfortable sitting in front of a camera. I don't think you have to. There's plenty of faceless channels out there too, and there's other ways to be creative. But I think a lot of people, like, we're surrounded by media. We're algorithmed into our little pigeonholes. It's fun to step out of that and say, hey, here's something I like. It's not the number one trending topic on anything, but this is what I like, and that it's fun to talk about what you like, and it's fun to connect with people who are in that same thing, which is what we're doing here today.
Yeah, exactly. And that's kind of the cool thing. I don't think any of us are really chasing that algorithm too much, because otherwise, like, every single title of ours would be Batman punched this guy, and then our thumbnail would be like,
oh,
so
I'll do Batman Damned. He shows his dick.
Yeah.
I almost bought that the other day. That's why I saw it. That was first Bat Dong. I really wanted it, but it was $30, and I had a stack. I had to make a choice. I had a stack of nonsense or that one book.
Yeah. Or
I like that doesn't fall into the nonsense, though. Like, there's a whole different category for Bat Dong.
Well, because that's my thing, though. Like, that's not dollar bin nonsense. That's collectible. Like, that's track it down. I'm looking for a specific thing. I'm looking for a newsstand, Mark Jewelers, blah, blah, blah. But I looked at that and I was just like, I think I'd rather have these really silly ones to talk about and laugh with my friends than one joke that cost me $30. But I will get it one day. It's just I wasn't budgeted for it. But you're right.
To get too morose or macabre, but I have to ask you guys a question.
Go.
Do you ever think about the day that comes up where you're no longer with us and your family has to go through your collection, and, like, wondering what they're going to think when they're like, what is first appearance of Bat Dong? Like, what has he been doing this entire time?
Yeah. Or when my wife finds my Heat Seeker collection. I really hope she'll read it because it's fun. But there's a lot of naked lady karate fighting in there.
So what you need to do when you feel your time is coming is put them all in, like, a manila envelope, and on the cover of it just write, "Sweetheart, just hear me out." And that's it.
I'm planning on Hagen's youth, him outliving me, so that whoever it is, whether it's my son or my wife that gets this collection, they can track him down and say, hey, help me sell all this crap because I don't want any of it.
Yeah, this envelope has a biohazard symbol on it. It says "Give to Hagen immediately."
Yeah, I'm gonna pick 4 books out of your cabinet and be like, these are the ones that are worth any kind of money. The rest is garbage, and I will be taking it. Thank you very much.
I thought this was a question or not a question, but like a scenario I've had rattling around my head. This is the question I thought you were going to ask, is like, have you thought about the day where, like, this is fun now, and if it becomes not fun, that you're gonna stop. Do you think there's a day where you're
Oh,
like, you know what? I don't want to talk about new comic books every week anymore. I'm full and I want to go do something else. Have you have you thought about that at all? Has that thought creeped into anyone's brain?
it's creeped into my brain, but in a slightly different way. I mean, I'm in my 40s and I've been an enjoyer of comic books for 30 plus years, right? Um,
Hmm.
I don't foresee a time where I'm necessarily done talking about comics. I think I'm always going to have thoughts. I think I'm always going to be exploring. Am I going to be doing under the same guise that I am right now, being the Wednesday warrior who talks about the new comic books every single
Right.
week? Who knows? But am I going to be reading? Am I going to be talking about them? Yeah. Like I don't see that
Okay.
going away. How
I
about
I
you guys
just
though?
Hagen, have you thought about that at all? Like, have you wrestled at all with like, what the hell am I doing with my time here, collecting all this and making videos and talking about it?
Collecting all of it, no. Um, talking about it, no. Making videos, not really, no. Um, I am aware of how much time it can take up, but I have gotten a lot more out of this than I've put into it, um, and I'm happy with the exchange rate that's there. Um, and
Well
I
put.
don't think that it's gotten I don't think that it can get to a point that I am not getting that I'm not getting the like the full effect from doing this. So I yeah, not really to answer your question.
Man, you guys are like mentally healthy. I have had I, I've had mental nervous breakdowns in this chair so many times. Like, what the hell are you doing?
Well, you didn't ask that
Um,
question. Yes, I've
Well,
had
yeah, I mean, if
7
you
of
want to
those.
talk
Yeah.
about like the feeling of
yeah,
imposter syndrome or just the feeling of like
yeah,
I can't do this, then absolutely, yeah. But
yeah.
like,
That's what I want to talk about.
am I going to keep forcing YouTube servers to host my bullshit? Yeah. Yeah, I am.
Cool.
Oh yeah, like that stuff all happens. That's normal. I would argue you might be more healthy than by having those mental breakdowns because it's a real thing. But yeah, like I mean,
Yeah, I don't know. I'm probably not processing it well sometimes, but yeah, I don't know. It's like it it's a wave, right? Like I'll hit a low where I'm just like I can't think of anything more to say. I don't want to do the same thing, I don't have something new to add to this. And I have that little mental nervous breakdown, but then for whatever reason, like it just fixes itself. So I don't know if it's probably just part of the, creative process is that imposter syndrome, second guessing
mhm.
yourself, and all of it. But yeah, I guess that's my thing is like, I wonder if are the intrusive thoughts going to win one day and I don't sit back down in the chair and make something.
Kate,
Yeah.
if you go back and watch the first 5 seconds of this video, you can see me start, get through, and finish a panic attack in like 2 seconds because I just completely forgot how to talk for a little bit. But yeah, no, that's every time I start setting up like my little filming rig that I have in here, I can feel it like I can feel that like level of anxiety like rising in my chest every single time, and it hasn't gotten that hasn't gotten easier. Sort of the getting into the swing of things happens faster, but that feeling like the anxiety rising doesn't hasn't gone away yet. I don't think.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, then I feel better. Thanks, guys.
Yeah, not to turn this into a full-on therapy session, even though
No,
we've done that at this point. But
it's
like, I mean,
okay.
yeah, I mean, it's important not to get too low on any of this stuff or too high. Like, I'm sure we've all had those moments where we get a big subscriber boom because a video hit really hard, and then we're like, oh my god, I'm gonna control YouTube, and then like subscribers
Oh
drop,
no.
and like your other videos don't get as many views, and you're like, oh my god, my life is ending. And it's like never get too high, never get too low. It all kind of evens out, and the longer you do this, the easier it is to see all of that stuff. You got to look at it from like that 3,000-foot view.
I definitely don't get too high. It's like I mean, I just had a video that popped and I got all these subscribers and I showed my wife the thing on the app and she was like, "That's insane." I said, "I know. 3/4 of these people are going to leave, like, or they're bots, or they're not real. Like that, I immediately like tank it for myself in the beginning, set those expectations low. I'm like, there's no way this is, yeah.
Yeah, Hagen paid a server farm in Siberia
That's what
$8,000.
Hagen, he botted me.
I always think it's funny when I get 5 subscribers in one day, and then I drop by 4 subscribers the next day, and I'm like, hey, thanks for trying, guys. I appreciate you, giving it a shot. What?
Yeah.
I was the butter pecan when you were looking for mint chocolate chip, and that's okay.
Yeah, the statistics tell a story for sure.
Yeah.
So Kate's off to go see Fantastic Four, and since I saw the numbers for its performance this weekend, apparently we can talk about spoilers because no one else is going to go see it.
I haven't been to see it yet, and I
tanked. Have you been to see it, Eric?
No.
Wow.
I really want to. I just haven't had time.
Yeah, I'm here to help the numbers for sure.
Okay. Did you go see Superman?
Oh, heck yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, I went to go see Superman opening day.
So did I. Why no Fantastic Four yet, boys? I'm curious.
Yeah, Eric, you go first. I'm interested to hear what you have to say.
I was 2 weeks late on Superman. So like I'm right on pace for going to see Fantastic Four on my timeline. Superman just came out earlier, but it also, and I don't know what Fantastic Four is like, but I can speak towards Superman, and it was the right movie for the right time for the right person in me. I wanted something joyful. I wanted something hopeful. I wanted, to feel like everything is gonna be okay in my media consumption, and that delivered big time. So yeah, I kind of knew that was going to be the tone that James Gunn was going to bring to Superman, or just anyone should bring to Superman, really. But yeah, it made it the right movie to like prioritize and go see.
Yeah, well, I enjoyed Fantastic Four, and I won't go into spoilers or anything. But I was watching Mon Comics video of all of them getting together to go and see it. And Brandon had said that like he loved it. I mean, and he's a big Fantastic Four fan. I mean, of course, like this is his my Superman.
Mhm.
But then he's like, but Superman was all over the place. I loved Fantastic Four. Superman was all over, and I was just like, heard that record scratch. But like you just said, right movie for the right person at the right time. So, depending on what you're wanting out of it. And I thought FF was fine. Dope, hated it. Brandon loved it. I mean, everyone's mileage is going to vary by what you want out of it, I think.
Mhm.
When I hear people say that they really liked the first Fantastic Four Silver Surfer movie, I do that confused dog head turn thing and try to figure it out. So yeah, we tried to watch all of the Fantastic Four movies before we went and saw it. And
I love that you say tried.
Yeah, well, we didn't make it. We didn't make it through the Silver Surfer one.
Mhm.
And it still comes up on Disney all the time. My son's like, hey, we still got to watch Fan 4 Stick. And I'm like, I know, but we spent 2 weeks watching Batman versus Superman about 10 minutes at a time. Because it's as much as we could stomach.
That's just what you got to choke down.
Yeah.
Don't you seal it up. What are you going to say? I want to hear it.
Nothing. I have no critique over anything Snyderverse related at all.
What?
Period. Full stop. I would never say something like that online in a live platform. No way. No.
I
how.
would.
Well, I will.
I absolutely would.
I'll break the seal for you because I actually made a post on Instagram that for the very first time I was like, I don't know if I should do this because I'm opening myself up to people being angry with me, but I decided that I didn't care. There was just like it's time for change, one of those like black and white lists of like, all right, Snyderverse fans, we need to band together and this, that, and the other. And it was like this manifesto.
It was insane.
I tagged Restore the Snyderverse and asked like in the caption, I just said, Chat GPT, generate a textual representation of a cringe ass Nene baby. Hashtag Restore Snyderverse. Oh my god. It didn't end up, I don't think any Snyderverse people ended up seeing it, but oh god, it was so it
well, you're still here. You're
It
still
made
here
me
with
giggle.
us.
Yeah.
I will always say when it comes to Snyder movies, I can always find a sequence I enjoy watching because visually that man can choreograph action and fights and
Mhm.
big over the top stuff. Just, I mean, that's what he was born to do. It's, I mean, I just love it.
300
But
is great.
300
Oh,
is
yeah.
great. I freaking love The Watchmen. I don't care. Like, people hate the change, the ending, this, that, whatever. Movies are going to be different. As far as a movie goes, I freaking loved that movie. And it's okay, Eric. You can. I see you. I see it bubbling up in you, and I'm trying to get it out. But even like Man of Steel, as much as I don't like that movie at all, there are moments that I really do like to rewatch. And Batman versus Superman, I have watched Batman warehouse fight so many times. Like I could choreograph that fight now. So I can always find something. Now I don't know.
Kills like
Justice
8 people during that fight, but setting that aside.
Oh, so many people. And I hate that, right? Like I hate that, but I still want to watch the fight.
Yeah, it's
'Cause,
still
like,
cool.
It's
Yeah.
still, I mean, when he smashes that guy Scorpion right into the floor, it's amazing. Or when he effortlessly throws the giant crate across the room, and kills that guy with it. So yeah, I can always find something of Snyder's to enjoy, but I can't watch a whole movie and take it seriously. I just can't.
Well, here, okay, so I'll give you guys a little controversy.
There we
thing,
go.
right?
There we go.
A little bit, but I'm going to
We're
talk
doing
about
it.
something I liked about it. I have a differing opinion than I feel like a lot of the people who critique Man of Steel, which is when Pa Kent dies in the manner in which he dies in that movie. Yeah, see, I knew I was going to get that reaction. I loved it. I loved it. And
Oh my
it
God.
hit me in every way that I think that it was supposed to hit me, because I'm thinking to myself, again, as a parent, I'm like, well, you know the ramifications about this. You know that if your son were to save your life, and granted, let's take out the fact that maybe he has super speed and he could be like the blue streak
Yeah.
that
Yeah,
saves
yeah,
him,
yeah.
right? He's going to be found out. And if he does this, he will be found out. He'll be taken by the government and he'll be used as a weapon. There is nothing in the world that Ma or Pa Kent can possibly do to stop this. So in that moment, he makes the choice. No, you stay there. This is how I go out. I loved that moment. I thought it was powerful and moving. I'm getting goosebumps talking about it because, again, as a parent, all you do is think about the ways in which you can protect your child, up to and including putting yourself in danger.
Sure.
That part
You,
totally works.
I'm going to argue that had that actually happened in the movie, I would agree with you, but you wrote all that. Zack Snyder did not subtext that. I don't believe it at all. Like, you filled in those blanks very well, by the way. And that's what you
fact
have
that
to do with Zack
he-
Snyder. You have to give it
Yes.
your own backstory and subtext, because otherwise it's pretty flat.
The fact that he ends up being discovered later, or that he sort of willfully like steps into the sunlight later, to me that means that wasn't something that Zack Snyder was considering,
It
because
undercuts the message.
because if he meant for it to be like a meaningful sacrifice in that way, then I think that's something that would have stuck around for at least the rest of the movie. Maybe it would be like the end thing, you know. But yeah, I would have thought it would have been committed to for longer than 20 minutes or so. But yeah.
Well, that's the Snyder of it all, isn't it, though? Like, there's this really great video on YouTube. I can't remember who did it, but it was taking all of Snyder's movies and kind of looking at them under a microscope and showing that, like, oh, he just has like an obsession with the Excalibur mythology, and that's every single one of his movies follows that same pattern of beats, following, you know, Arthur and, you know, all of the people, you know, of the Knights of the Round Table and their story, and finding Excalibur and blah 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 blah. So in knowing that, you can see like maybe there were other stories that the writers intended, and then he's like, yeah, but let's make it more Arthurian. Let's try that though.
Yeah.
And all of a sudden, you know, the story takes a hard left.
Yeah. But it's all, even the bad movies. I mean, go back further, you know, Batman and Robin. There are, even the bad movies become part of the whole patchwork of
Oh yeah.
comic book collecting and comic, it McFarlane's putting out the Batman return, or Batman Forever. Yeah, Batman Forever, Batman and Robin action figures that they put out not too long ago. There's a market
Yeah.
for it now because guys my age, did that full circle of this movie sucks and I hate it. But then it came out at the time that I was doing X, Y, and Z. So I'm a little nostalgic for it. And when they put stuff out, yeah, it's stupid, but I'll buy it because it is stupid. And I'm in
Yeah,
on the
because
joke.
now I have money.
Right.
Yeah, there's that too. I had money. I used to have money. Now I have these things.
Yeah.
So
I think you could find something to enjoy in a lot of different things. Like every time I talk about things that are bad that I like, I think about K Munin, every single time. And
I think about him a lot too.
It's just because, like, if you like something because it's bad, or if you think it's funny because it's bad, if you enjoy it because of a non-positive aspect, you're still enjoying it, just not maybe in the way that they thought you would. There's this wonderful shit tier horror movie called Zombiever. It's an amazing movie that is complete garbage. And that, like, there is something that you can enjoy in just about everything. And if you're somebody that loves the Snyder of it all, TM 9-panel grid.
Put that on t-shirts, Eric. Sell them. Get that in your merch store.
Yeah, if you're somebody that loves that, I have got no problems with you. I'm happy that you enjoy a thing, and that it's something that brings you happiness. But it's just not for me.
I think we have to have a little bit of trash in our enjoyment, a little bit. Like, I mean, come on. I look back and there's some really schlocky things that I really, really, it's like my comfort food enjoyment. Like, some people grew up with Labyrinth or The Dark Crystal or like things like that in their childhood, and that's like, oh, like I can't wait to introduce my kid to this. And I'm like, all right, kid, buckle up and sit down. We're watching Big Trouble in Little China. And I'm like,
hell yes.
I can objectively say that movie is not John Carpenter's best movie, but damn it, it is my favorite. And I love every single bit about it, including that little flying eyeball thing. Like, it's glorious. So I can lean into the schlock too.
Yeah. Masters of the Universe, the canon film. Great.
Yep.
Great movie.
Yeah, no notes.
Right? They were barely in Eternia at all. Yeah, it was great. It was fantastic. Dolph Lundgren wore that thing the whole movie. Like he just wore a fur thong the whole movie. It was great. Yeah, we call it it's Hagen. Hagen came up with the phrase, but exactly what you just said. It doesn't always have to be a steak dinner. Sometimes I just want to eat a bag of Skittles. There's, the art runs the gamut because our attitude runs the gamut. I want things that are simple and stupid and funny. And sometimes I do want things that give me those goosebumps. We were talking last night. I was playing video games with some buddies, and one of them had not seen Guardians of the Galaxy 3. He was like, oh, I never saw that one. And me and the other guy are like, oh my God, that one like breaks my heart harder than I think any superhero movie ever did. Like, it absolutely crushed me. And I knew it was coming. Just by the trailers. Like, all I had to do was see those little animals, and I knew James Gunn was going to break my freaking heart. And I've seen the movie twice, and I haven't watched it again, even though I really enjoyed it, because like that emotional like piece is too raw for me sometimes.
Oh my God.
Especially as a parent, Eric. Like I don't know about you, but like having a baby made me like a baby about things. Like,
I was about to say, like, I don't know how much time we have left, but I can do another 3 hours
all
on
that
James Gunn's Guardians of the Galaxy.
We have as much time as you want. So if you want to talk about the James Gunn Guardians movies, we can do that.
There are moments in each one of those movies that it completely tore me apart in the best way possible. In the very first one, the mixtape that his mother puts together for him, which ends on "Ain't No Mountain High Enough." When she knows she's not going to be there. Oh, I'm not going to cry on camera. I'm not going to do it. In part 2, Yondu, the guy that he thinks like despises him and hates him and turned his back on him, sacrifices himself. The father figure that he didn't know he needed sacrifices himself. to make sure that Peter Quill can stay alive.
Okay, that one just gave me goosebumps. Not gonna lie. Like, I mean, just thinking about that part of that movie, like again, what James Gunn does so well for me is not just that emotional punch, it's unexpected.
Yeah.
Where it's going to come from and how hard it's going to hit. Like you said, Yondu was a dick for 1 3/4 of a movie. But underneath all of that, we never let them eat you. They ain't never tasted Terra before. He was never going to let them eat him. He loved them from day one. It was absolutely like just so freaking amazing. And then like it hurts your heart and you laugh at the same time. I'm Mary Poppins, y'all.
I'm Mary Poppins,
the whole thing.
Yeah, he's so good about undercutting his own moments in a way that serves the moment before it. So like the sad stuff is made more sad because it was just so funny before it. The funny stuff after is made more funny because of the sad stuff before that. Like he just does a very he builds on his own stuff in a way that not a lot of other people are capable of doing. Because like the Thor Love and Thunder movie, I won't ever watch again. Because one, it made me really sad that they wasted Gore the God Butcher. Like a could have been a really cool villain for a long time.
Yeah.
But also like the jokes, the constant undercutting of like serious stuff.
It was a barrage.
I just couldn't take anything seriously. It didn't serve to like make the moments beforehand shine better. It just was moving from one thing to the next. James Gunn doesn't do that, or he doesn't tend to.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I have very little critique about his movies. They really always have worked for me, up to and including his stuff before kind of the big Marvel boom. Have you guys seen Slither, the horror movie?
Hell yes. Slither, I own. It's awesome. That's like an annual watch around here.
It is so good. It is so freaking good. I love that movie. And if you're a Nathan Fillion fan, you're already gonna like it because it like leans so nicely into his mannerisms and everything for the character that he's playing. But it's also extraordinarily gross.
I don't think I've seen it since I worked in a video store, so we're talking like early 2000s probably. Tromeo and Juliet, which was his first movie for Troma.
Yep, exactly.
I remember, I mean, I used to watch it, I didn't care. If it had Troma on it, I would pop it in. And you want to talk about needing some trash in your life. They will drive a dump truck to your house and put it in the front lawn.
Oh my god.
Where do you want it?
Have you seen the movie Night Beast?
No.
Oh, hold on one second. Give me just 2 seconds. I'll be right back.
You got a second.
So I'm writing down Slither and Night Beast.
I'm writing down Night Beast as well.
I need to make like a repository of all the stuff that like we say we're gonna look at either here or on like the Tuesday show, because I've got half a notebook full of recommendations.
Okay, so this is
notebook night.
This is Troma adjacent, right? But it is a movie called Night Beast, and it's really part of this Alien versus Redneck trilogy that this filmmaker Don Dohler put out. They're the schlockiest things.
It's a Don Dohler movie?
It's a Don Dohler movie, yeah.
Okay,
so if
here
you've
we
seen
go.
one of them, you've probably seen this, but you don't know that you've seen it. But Brent Parsons, the artist of Grommets that had just come out recently, just wrapped up recently, put out a print for this movie that was Rizzo print. And oh my God, it was so glorious and I needed it in my life.
Hold on a second.
There we go. Let me try to not block the mic here too. Man, if rednecks fighting aliens is something that you think maybe is going to strike your fancy, you should definitely check this out. It has every Troma beat that you would want here. Doesn't lean into the zaniness necessarily, but just as low budget and wonderful. So check.
I have seen it. Doesn't it have, if this is the one I'm thinking, it has a very awkward getting it on scene with Blondie and Afro Man there?
Afro Man and Blondie, yes, absolutely. So yeah, see, you knew it. You just didn't.
I've seen it.
Yeah, yeah. It is.
I've seen
glorious.
garbage. Yeah, Don Dohler, you're right. I think I've seen at least 2 of his movies with the same plot. It's always an alien or creature,
Oh yeah.
and then people fighting against it in the woods. But I know I've seen even more watching. I watch a lot of bad movie YouTube channels, and those are
Mhm.
some of my favorites. And I've watched so many of these people watch the same movie. Like, I'll watch the movie, I'll watch the riff tracks, I'll watch Red Letter Media,
Yes.
whatever the other one is. What is the other one? I can't remember. There's a couple that I watch, but they're like, I've watched them all watch the same movie, but I want to hear everyone else's jokes. I want to hear everyone else's riff on it, because it's just
Yeah.
that communal watch of a bad movie is so fun. When you get to
And that's
drop your zinger.
yeah, that's what I was about to say. These are best experienced in a large group of people,
Yeah.
maybe inebriated. Your level of inebriation is up to you, but somewhere in that realm for sure.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah, I wish that's something that would be like so cool to be able to do. Like, you remember they had that thing with Netflix where you could watch a movie with somebody from, someone else.
You
It
can
was
still do
very
that.
short-lived. Is it still there?
You
Because they took it
can
away for a
still
while.
do that. I think that there are plugins for Discord that allow you to
Okay.
host like media watch parties.
I wish if speaking of OBS, like, I just wish there was a way we could figure out. Of course, copyright would be a huge issue, but to do like
Yeah.
an online, live watch of these terrible movies. I don't know how the bad movie channels get away with it. They probably make their money somewhere else and they don't care about copyright. But
Yeah.
yeah, that's something that I just think a lot of us are probably partakers of bad movies for fun. I know I am, as much as
Yeah.
possible.
Yeah.
Nobody.
There are very few things that are more fun than watching horrible movies that you don't care about talking over with your friends while you are some form of inebriated.
Yes, exactly. We'll
um,
have to all start that YouTube channel as soon as like Better Health starts sponsoring us and we can hawk all of our
right.
merch, and yeah,
Mhm.
we'll make it all happen.
My friend Eric will never let me live down. We watched this movie called Full Moon High, which all stemmed from, I think we were watching an episode of Alf where Jim J. Bullock showed up. And then we went down a Jim J. Bullock rabbit hole, and we found this movie where Alan Arkin is a werewolf. His dad is in it as well. And Jim J. Bullock plays a football star. They're all really young. It Full Moon High, I think it was on Amazon Prime. Everybody get 6 beers, sit down and watch it, because it's so bad. But it was really funny. Like, we had a really good time because we were together. Had I watched that by myself, I would have been miserable. But making someone else watch a bad movie and watching them suffer and laughing with them, and still to this day, he won't let me live it down. Just shows you like how much fun something that's not good can be. It really can.
Yeah, absolutely. And did I hear that right? Did you say 6 beers? How many?
6 beers.
What's the exchange rate on White Claws though? How many is that
I
going to
don't.
take?
They're the same. I mean,
Oh,
unless you're Hagen and you're Surgeon. This guy. I mean, what are those surges? Do they have 8% alcohol?
Oh, hold on a second. Let me see. Yeah, 8%.
oh, nothing makes me feel like I'm 17 again, like a surge.
Those are evil. Yeah. Yeah, White Claw's like, I don't know what it is, but it's like drinking a beer. Like, you don't think that
It's not like drinking a beer. It's
well,
it's like drinking a LaCroix that makes you slowly understand the world less.
yeah, it I don't know. It's stronger than you think it's gonna be, is my point.
Yeah.
Those soccer moms, they know what's up. They really do.
Yeah. Thank God that the Honda Odyssey has lane keep assist.
Oh my God.
Oh, I mean, yeah. I'll watch the Alf movie because it wraps it up. Season 4 ends on a cliffhanger. I mean, what happened? I actually think I saw it though. Hey, we should talk about some comic books real quick. Eric,
Why?
Here
I have a
on Comic Book YouTube?
yeah, I have a comic book question for you.
Sure.
You buy so many new books. What is your like vintage historical collection or what is there an era that you like to collect the old stuff or read the old stuff?
Ooh. Bronze Age is as far as I go back. Like for
Okay.
the way that I collect, I try to be very precise with my hobby, right? Because
Hmm.
otherwise it can get really crazy and really expensive really quickly. So I try to go back only as far as like my love of the runs that I read when I was a kid. Further back than that, we go into Silver Age, Golden Age. It kind of doesn't do it for me personally. Just because again, like it's going to be a very expensive endeavor for the most part, and I have no history with it, so it doesn't like strike that fancy. But I feel like 1986 was that magical year, and for me, I'm an 80s baby anyway. So
Yeah.
I'm big into 1986, where the landscape of comic books changed, and they kind of grew up essentially, and that evolved into like the dark and gritty of everything. And we're not going to get into that, but at the time when it matured, it was very good. I grabbed a couple comics to kind of talk about that kind of stuff, but I will start with none other than Mr. Frank Miller here on his run with Daredevil. This, as far as the superhero goes, this is the superhero for me. I will
Right.
collect Daredevil until the day I die. I might request in my will that my family continues to collect Daredevil and just kind of keep putting them aside, regardless of how good it is.
Just in case I come back.
Yes, exactly. They talk about resurrection, and heck, we read comics, right? I could be the
Right.
phoenix that rises from Jamaica Bay.
He was just in a 9-panel coma.
Yes,
He was
exactly.
a restorative 9-panel coma. He'll be back.
So Frank Miller like absolutely does it for me. Not only this, but like his seminal run when he starts with Born Again. It just this strikes my fancy. The problem is that I'm kind of done collecting most of that stuff. My other big love is none other than you know 80s X-Men era, or actually late 70s, early 80s X-Men. By the way, these two comics, I couldn't tell you which one it is necessarily, but one of these two comics, if not maybe both of them, were my very first comics that I ever bought for myself. Oh,
the fact that link has to be dropped on Sunday morning says a lot about my life choices. I'm
Oh my
gonna do
God.
some thinking.
you do have a title for this show that is very appropriate. We'll say it
Well,
appropriate.
you can't be hungover if you're still drunk. That's what 4 out of 5 doctors don't want you to know.
It's the secret. There's your clickbait title. Never be
Yeah.
hungover. Ask me how.
But the Chris Claremont era of X-Men, and Nate, you were talking about like the fact that you could fly through the recent Superman issue in like 30 seconds. Yeah, not happening in a Claremont
Ooh.
issue, because they're going to catch you up on everything that happened in the previous arc, plus all the actions that are happening in this arc, plus all of the inner monologue that's happening with every character that's on every single panel.
Now, do you dip your toe into like New Mutants, X Factor, or strictly Uncanny X-Men?
No. So one of the goals that I put out for myself was to complete the Claremont run, which needed to be Uncanny X-Men, New Mutants,
Yeah.
Excalibur, the whole shebang. I'm
Yeah.
really close. I'm really, really
Wow.
close. I have from issues, what is it, 94 through, I think I got to get up to like 124, something like that. So I have like a finite number of issues. The problem is that every single one of those are expensive. So every time I
Mhm.
have an opportunity, I'm like, do I want to put my money here, or
Right.
do I want to buy this other really cool, albeit probably way more stupid thing on the other side? And I lean stupid.
I'm behind that. I really,
Yeah.
Welcome home.
the other thing. Welcome home. We're glad you're here, Eric. Like those big books too. I sometimes I look and I just think they're always gonna be there.
Hmm.
And not to get morbid here right now, but I think a lot of things are going to be coming into the market because of the age of certain collectors. There are a lot of things that we're going to start seeing more of that aren't Claremont X-Men books. They're not really rare.
No.
They printed a lot of those, and so they just not that they shouldn't have a premium because they are cool first appearances. good art, Claremont, all of that, but should they be, should my first appearance of Dazzler be $200? No, it just shouldn't. It
Well,
can have a
after
premium,
I
but that's
buy
just
it,
too
yes, it
much.
should be. But before I buy it, no, absolutely not.
Well, but that's what I think in the back of my head always is that, there could be a lull come that will make these a little more affordable for whatever reason, whether it's because the market on collectibles dips or because all of the sudden the market becomes flooded with a lot of collections that have been in private hands being out there more. Somebody just the other day that I was watching was talking about how they're seeing Golden Age books that they have never seen, like only heard of, but now they're seeing multiple copies out there because they're probably coming from, collections that are now being sold off. So,
well, I mean, we all had the pleasure of attending Heroes, and I'm pretty sure that none of us are actually really sick of talking about Heroes yet, but we probably stopped.
I got 2 more videos coming, baby.
There you go. Yeah. All right. But yeah, so we all saw that at every booth, like you could like kick a stone and hit a Hulk 181 if you wanted to, right? Like, I mean, yeah, rarity is sure. Like, are you going to find it at your LCS every single week? Maybe not, but like everything is so much more attainable than it used to be now that the internet is a thing and we have so many resources. Like back in the day, hunting was hunting, and you had to really, search for things and find, gold out there. Who knows where? But nowadays, it's like if you want it, you could truly have it. It could be in your fingertips, like at a moment's notice. Kind of sucks.
It is a click and a credit card application away most of the time.
Yep.
Right. And it really is a double-edged sword, in my opinion. Like, I in no way get the same joy from getting a box of comics that I ordered off of a website or eBay. I don't like that near as much as when I find something in a bin somewhere, something whether it's worth money or not, it doesn't matter. It's just like there's just something about being the one that found it, not the guy that typed the words into the search bar. But sometimes too you get that itch and it's like I can't find this anywhere, and like until I fill this hole so that I can go to the next one, I'm gonna lose my mind. I've been trying. So then I'll do that, which just happened because of my friend Chris in here showed me a book that there was no way I could wait on it. And so I went ahead and ordered it. But rarely do I do that. Only if like something pops up that's a stupid good deal, sometimes you can't pass up something that's just that's really cheap or that, God, that's going to save me so much money. Cause even if I did find it at a show, they're going to charge me more.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, exactly. Isn't that part of the problem as well, though, man? Like the level of influence that we all have over one another now. It's just like, oh my God, well, like, I gotta pick this up now because Nate said that I need it in my life. Crap.
Right.
All right, here we go.
I love it. That's, I mean, the whole FOMO squad thing was a joke that we FOMO we FOMO each other. That's what
the joke's on you.
The joke's but that's what we named our Instagram text thread, as a joke. And then it just evolved into that actually is what we do, to each other. And then I'm constantly getting messages from people about things that they bought because we showed it. And it usually starts with "you bastard," and tell the rest of them I hate them too.
Yep. I've gotten those messages as well. Somebody accused me of getting them into Jeff the Landshark. There was that whole thing. There's the whole thing with the ferret that happened. Or is still happening. Billy Ray Cyrus, the graphic novel event is a thing now.
Oh
Operation Achy Breaky. I'm scared, man. I don't know if I'm going to be able to afford my copy.
This is the first time I've ever done this. I am zooming in on photos on eBay to see like how does the wear on the edge of this cover look? Because if we're gonna have a competition, I'm gonna try and win.
Right.
And I don't look at condition like that for most books. I have bought 2 books where I didn't realize a mouse ate the bottom corner of them. I had no idea because I don't look that closely because I don't care. But yeah, and this is the book that I'm doing that with is Billy Ray Cyrus.
Well, you really got to look out for the color fade on its mullet. That's where it's going to
Mhm.
get you, you know. So just make
And,
sure, look very closely.
and you don't want to get a purple label. A lot of people have retouched that.
Yeah,
Mhm.
exactly.
Um, I know K Munin. This guy, we can't FOMO him. He has standards and he sticks to them. I don't know what
Yep.
that's like, but it's probably good.
You just got to find the right in, right? There's an avenue for sure.
Yeah,
Um,
all he needs is for Sonic to do a crossover with like Canoe Head.
oh, he'd hate it so much, but
It'd
he'd
be
buy it.
wonderful.
He'd buy it. What are you really? Is there something on the horizon you're really looking forward to, Eric? As because I feel like, I mean, I look at the new books the day before they come out. I don't really plan further ahead. I feel like you're more on the pulse of where the industry is now. I'm a I'm a shopper that gets surprised. I'm like, oh, I didn't know that was a thing.
Let
Is
me
there?
cheat. I can't. There's
Yeah.
nothing like really off the top of my head right now that is coming out as far as new stuff. Oh, here we go. Okay. Jesse Lonergan is an artist. In fact, he was at Heroes just this year again, and he's got a hardcover coming out called Drome. He has incredible panel work, really cool things. If you're reading New Gods, he was one of the guest artists that did one of the mini educational pieces, right, where they're giving the backstory on New
Oh, I was gonna
Genesis.
say, was it like the history painted the second world or whatever?
I
Was that
can't for the
him?
life of me remember which one it was at this point, but he was
Because
one
that
of the
was
many
awesome.
artists. Yeah.
That was
Um,
awesome.
yeah, Man's Best is probably the last ongoing that he did with
Oh,
came out from Boom Studios about
yeah,
the
yeah.
animals, right?
That was really
So
good. I liked that.
yeah, so he's got a book coming out here. Artistic quality is like off the charts though, as far as like creativity and stuff like that. Rick Remender, I'm a huge fan of. I think that
Oh my
every
gosh.
single book that that man writes is top tier. And he's got a book called Escape, which looks like it's like a war drama through the eyes of like animals, kind of like Beneath the Trees esque, but maybe not so
Okay.
cartoony. That's looking really cool. And those are all coming out in August. In fact, let me see. Is there anything on the horizon? There's like the big two have things, right? They're always gonna
Mhm.
have their events.
Right.
Do they excite me as much as the other stuff? Not so much anymore. DCKO kind of has a little bit of hooks in me because I think that DC is I'm a Marvel, or I was a Marvel zombie. DC has been doing really, really fun things though.
I'm gonna probably get KO #1 just because I will have to. But like,
Mhm.
I got Absolute Power #1, and if anybody wants it, let me know. Because I have it. I didn't buy, I didn't buy any of the crossovers or anything. But like when it was all over, like you just said, that DC relaunch of All In was so good. So many of their books are very good.
Yeah.
I just haven't really stuck with many. I stuck with New Gods though, because that is freaking awesome. So
Ram
good.
V, just mwah,
I
chef's kiss.
absolutely love it. How many covers are you going to get for Batman #1? Because I saw somebody post that in the
Ooh,
like when it,
there's okay. I can give an answer to that one, which is going to be the most unsexy answer ever.
yeah,
Cover A. That's all I
yeah,
ever get. Like I like
but
variants, and but it's got to be very special. Like it's got to be
sure,
really something that hits for me to put down hard-earned money for what is essentially two pages that are different than the other version that I've already
yeah,
gotten.
I'm 100% with you there. I just have no shame in that sometimes that little mini poster, I'm like, yep, that's worth $1. I'll
Yep.
take it. But yeah, I like Phil Jimenez, and I like that they're bringing blue and gray Batman into like modern books. I mean, speaking of Bronze Age, like I love Bronze Age Batman.
Mhm.
Jim Aparo, just the look of Batman, the way he was just walking around on the streets like with the cops, but he's
Yeah.
a guy in a tall bat suit. So I like that they're bringing that look back. I like the artist. I'll check it out, but it's another one of those things where, like, if it starts to fall off a little or feel too quick, I'll have no problem dropping it because I know I'll be able to read it a billion different ways. And there are books that you just can't. It's like
Mhm.
you're going to get it as a floppy, or you're never going to see it again. And those are, I don't know, in my opinion, like, those are more the passion projects. Not that there's, I mean, DC, call me. I would love to write a Batman or Superman comic, but anybody who's writing Batman, Superman, Spider-Man, it even though you're being paid, it really is just kind of fan fiction at the highest level, right? Like,
That's
it's
all.
not
Yeah.
your own, it's not your own character, it's not your own story. And they can be great. Don't get me wrong, I love it. It's just I get more jazzed by an actual creator, a writer, an artist, whatever, who is doing their thing, because that's the story that they want to tell. They're not trapped by editorial or a universe or a movie plan.
Yep.
So it's just where I've been going lately. I love the superheroes. I love DC, and there's several Marvel characters that I really like, but I just have not been able to stick with them.
Well, and that's kind of the cool thing about indie comics too, is, and it's something that we lose sight of too, being that it is a superhero driven medium, is that
Hmm.
endings matter and endings are important. And what do you not really get with superhero comics, generally speaking? Endings, because it's really just a jumping off point for a new beginning. Nothing ever really ends, nothing changes. It's the old adage of putting the toys back in the toy chest. That's truly what happens.
Yeah.
All those big sweeping changes that we're going to impact the world of X-Men for the rest of our lives. Well, no, not really, because it goes back to the status quo. Indie comics, though, have the breadth and the ability to do whatever they ever want, up to and including killing off their entire cast and, like,
Right.
coming in as a completely different book under the same title. And that's really cool because they can surprise and delight you much more than I think that the big two allows their books to be.
Like, okay, I'm only on like book 4 or so of the oversized hardcovers, but Invincible is just one of the best superhero books I've ever read,
Mhm.
and it's his own thing, like,
Yeah.
there are no rules, and some absolutely brutal stuff has happened, and you could never do that at DC or Marvel. They wouldn't let you.
Yeah.
Um, and that's really cool. So, like, it doesn't just have to be like an indie book. Like, even indie superhero stuff can offer something if it's done really well.
Yes, exactly.
The
And
unfortunate thing
Eric,
is
eh,
that
oh, go ahead.
I was going to say the unfortunate thing is that rule doesn't apply to Invincible anymore because it's become such a huge, well-known property that, like, there are certain things that they're not going to do in the comics anymore because they don't want to have that in this kind of sprawling story. Whereas at the very beginning, it wasn't that. It was essentially like a passion project.
Yeah,
Yeah.
And but it has changed a bit.
I would agree. I mean, especially with the merchandising, they've got the cartoon, which is excellent. My wife, well, actually, you know what? I take that back. She did read Invincible. That's one of the ones, like, for her to read a comic, it has to be like really good. And so she really liked Invincible. And yeah, she did read the hardcovers that I have, but we've been watching that together, and she's been really into it as well. Like, it's just well done. The story that came from the comics is the backbone of the cartoon, and it's good. It's good stuff. If you haven't
Yeah.
checked, I'm way behind. I mean, I watch so many things and I feel like so little time to, like, actually sit down and watch things. I'm only on the second episode of Strange New Worlds, Hagen. I don't know how
Oh,
many are
really?
out.
I'm about
Yeah.
to
Call
I'm about
yourself
to
a
watch
fan.
4.
What's that, Eric?
You call yourselves fans. Gosh, come
I
on.
I know. It's, yeah. I'm also like, I don't know if anyone else does this, but, like, for the longest time, I wouldn't read the last issue of Grommets, even though it came out. Like, I didn't want it to be over,
I
And
was the
so
same way. Yes.
I I loved that book so much, and it
Mhm.
took so long for the 7th issue to come out, and when I finally got it, I was just like, you know what? I'm gonna reread all 6 before I read number 7, because it's been a while. I wanna read the whole story again, and I didn't. I just read the 7th book, and it was great. But, like, I do that same thing like with shows that we're watching. Like when it starts to get to the end, we'll be like, let's go watch this tonight instead. Like that way there's still 2 episodes of whatever it is so that I've
Yeah.
got something fun to look forward to, because I'm always afraid to complete that thing and have the next thing not be as good.
Delayed gratification.
I know we've been talking forever, but I don't have to run away anytime soon. And I do want to talk about Heroes Con because you were there and I saw you for all of 2 minutes.
You are the person that I think I saw the least there, because it was that one day that we saw each other in passing, and that's it.
Which is crazy because, like, there was so many people that we all saw, throughout the entirety of the weekend, and there were still people. I'm like, I didn't even cross paths with you. Like, where were you? It's crazy, but I think that it all kind of comes by way of what you were there for, which is the beauty of Heroes, because it has everything for every kind of collector. Like like my personal collecting has kind of transitioned over to few and far between are the books, like I was talking about. Like my collection is kind of complete in regard to like all my back issues and stuff like that. There's a couple of things that I'm still searching for, but if I come across them, great. But original art has definitely taken hold on me, which is dangerous. But I find myself, hanging around those booths very often.
It doesn't have, it can be dangerous. But like what I learned at Heroes, and I think what Hagen did as well, is like there's an entry point that's not disgusting, and it's just as cool. Like, you don't have to go and get Todd McFarlane original art. There are plenty of people making really cool things that you can commission, and there were plenty of places to go and get like original pages that were not like bad like for what I would expect. From artists that I knew or characters that I like. It might not have the best hero shot or whatever, but yeah, I mean, I see original art as being like, it's kind of like the next logical step for a comic book collector. Like, well, I got all the books. Now what do I do? Right? Like, it gives you another dragon to chase.
We talk about rarity, right? And like all these books they're attainable. So it kind of becomes like an thing. It's like, sure, it would be great to have in my collection. And is it like another thing where I could be like, oh, here's another $100 book? Sure. But like, who doesn't already have that? But when you have an original page, that's one of one. Like that's not replicated except for in the actual book itself. Like not last year, but 2 years ago, which was my first Heroes Con, I ended up getting like a Mark Bagley original page for $60.
Wow. What?
Yeah. It was insane. Like it was absolute insanity. I was like, oh, I'm not going to pass this up. It was a story that I really enjoyed. Like, does it have Spider-Man on it? No, but it had Ben Urich, J. Jonah Jameson, Jessica Jones. I'm like, yeah, those are all characters I love in a book that was awesome. So like, I'm not going to pass this up, not for $60. And then all of a sudden now I'm staring like off camera here. I'm staring at a bunch of frames with artwork that I haven't hung up yet. Yeah. And so it's become a very cool, adventure for all of that kind of stuff. But going back to the original thing, yes, there are so many people here, but it all depends on where you were gravitating, because there were the many lines that you would wait in for the creators to get signatures in. There was the CGC stuff, there was the original art. Indie Island was absolutely awesome. There were so many creators that, if great, but there was still plenty of them that I still didn't even know myself. So like, yeah, it all depends on what circle you were gravitating in.
There was a book, Dope got it, I haven't gotten it yet, called Ghost Man by Cosmic Lion.
Yeah, Ray Brunson.
And he was at Heroes. Like I found, that wasn't my area. You know what I mean? Like you just said, there's different. I barely went into the artist area. That wasn't my jam. That's not why I was there. But yeah, I think I'm definitely going to have to explore a lot more of that next year. And so you've gone 3 years in a row now?
Only 2 years. Yeah.
2 years.
Okay. The previous year was my very first time, and I was just like immediately check marked, like it's the best con. So like, why waste my time on other cons? Because this is perfect.
It was outstanding. Where did you stay at?
Oh, we were at the Westin.
Son of a... How did we not cross paths more? I'm floored.
I
mean,
it's funny. Yeah, I saw
it's weird.
a million people a million
We
times.
we were drinking White Claws in the lobby most nights.
Yeah, I don't know. It's staggering, but again, like that shows like the craziness that is Heroes. Like you
Yeah,
have to really plan and plot things out because otherwise, yeah, ships in the night.
yeah, for sure. Well, Rectified in the future. I mean, next year, my goal is much more, I think, social next year. Just because the collecting's great. I'll be able to dig and find books, but it's all you. There were another, how I'm going to mispronounce his channel name or something or say it wrong, but I think it's Outer World Comics. He had a whole video about his Heroes experience. I'm like, he's somebody
Yeah,
I watch. I'm like, I didn't even see him. Like, I didn't see him
same.
once.
Yeah.
And he was not the only one, so I don't know how to like how to make the community page for, hey, I'm gonna be there and here's where I'm staying and here's because it's a lot of people and it's a lot of space, and you don't
Mhm.
know until you get there just how big that floor is, so it's easy to not see people. But yeah, I just want a chance to say hey, because there's so many people that I watch that I enjoy their videos and I enjoy their we have certainly talked about raising enough funds to rent out a ballroom at the Westin. So one night after the con, we will have FOMOCon in a ballroom where all are welcome.
Wouldn't it be more on brand for us to rent out like a storage closet though?
It would be more on brand for us to just do it in the lobby and like put a sign up and bring some lawn chairs and see if they kick us out. I mean, that guy took my White Claw in the bar, which was devastating. Like, he was a total jerk.
Thievery.
And it was awful. You can't
He
bring
he
that in here.
he coveted it. He wanted it for
Yeah,
himself.
jerk. And then Dave from Still Only 35 Cents like asked me to pick out a scotch, and I made sure to pick one out that was like way up on this thing. So that guy that stole my White Claw had to get on a ladder.
Yeah, that was the reason why you
That's
wanted a
his
top shelf scotch.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. We're
well,
on to you.
yeah, I can have two reasons.
Stuff can be two things.
I'm multifaceted. It was delicious, and it got that. It's that meme, with the little wolf, the baby wolf, right? Like, I'm not the guy that's going to go at you. I'm going to do something like really minor and pretend like it was big. But I drank that scotch and left. And yeah, like, it's just we gotta figure out a way to social up a little more at that thing. Because I imagine I will spend my floor time more, digging and looking, but I'm still not going to be the guy that waits in a 2-hour line. There's just no artist or writer for me that was on the list this year that I was going to wait that long for. And nothing against anybody. I get it. Like, Jenny Frizen is freaking awesome. Roy Thomas is a legend, but I'm just that's not my motivator, I guess.
Yeah, there are a
that's what's so
countably
cool.
few number of people that I would wait in a 2 hour long line for. Oh my gosh.
Well,
Yeah.
because it's such a big percentage of your time there too, when you
Mhm.
think about it that way. Like, the con's open for what, 8 hours, most days, I think. So that's a healthy chunk of your time.
Yeah.
And yeah, we're all thinking of you, Eric.
Mhm.
Every day, it's like, where's Eric at? What line's he in? Because he would just go get in a line. But he did what he came for. He got a lot of stuff signed, and it's awesome. That's what he wanted.
Mhm.
And so, yeah, you are going back next year?
No, I think we've all, at least within
Oh.
my group of friends here, we've all kind of made the decision. I think we might need a year off. 2 years in a row is tough financially. It's also
I could
tough.
see that. Yeah.
But also like you guys, we had like grand ambitions too, and we were saying the same thing this year that you're saying now. Like next year, it's all social, and then you
Right.
get there and you realize I've been at a con for 6 hours and my back hurts and my feet
Yeah.
hurt and I kind of have a headache. Are you hungry? Yeah, sure, I'm hungry. And then all of a sudden, like the weekend's over, and you're like, oh my god, like it's crazy the way we all dream big, but
Yeah.
you
Yeah.
know.
And I mean, I think most people know my focus is not the best. So adhering to a battle plan just isn't I mean, I've got it on a note card, but I lost the note card, and that booth has that thing I'm going to go look at.
Mhm.
So I will probably go and just wander around. I now financially, you're right. Like, it was not cheap. I spent
No.
some money, but it was, half vacation for my wife to go and see family. So like, I can kind of like play that part of it, that we would be going there anyway, right? Like, we would be getting a hotel anyway. So it's not that bad. But it is like,
Yeah.
it's
only
not
recommendation-
it's not cheap.
Yeah, I would just make sure, if you're planning on going again, just hover over that Heroes Con website, find out when they have the early release stuff for the
Right.
Westin, get in there, get the discount, and just get everything
did.
booked and prepared. Yeah, see, like, I
I
mean,
did.
it's funny, like, what the con is in June, right? So, like, I think it was like by July or August last year, we were plotting for this year's con already. We already had tickets purchased and everything. It's like, and now we sit here and wait. It's kind of like Scott Pilgrim when he orders the thing off of Amazon. He's like, "Are you sitting at the door waiting for the package?" Like, yeah, that was me for Heroes Con 2025.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know when we're going to start drawing up battle plans, because we haven't. I don't think we've actually properly talked about it, but there's plans to go back to Heroes Con. There are also plans to do something in Chicago. They're like,
Oh,
we
C2E2.
have, yeah, we've got no
We talked
idea
about
what
that.
what the plan
The
is.
Alex Ross Museum. We've talked about like doing just a little heading to Metropolis, Illinois, where there's 3 or 4 comic shops, some Superman and Lois Lane statues. Like, that could be a fun little 2-day trip, and just say when we're going and where we're staying, because putting that stuff out on the internet's always a good idea. And just saying, come on, come on, come all. But that would be, if someone's in the area and they want to go, because not everybody has somebody to go dig with, or I think that's a big part of why this is so fun for a lot of people, is that we, those of us that do talking head stuff, we become the people that they can talk about comic books with if they don't have anybody.
Exactly.
And I think that's really cool. I definitely, like, comic book YouTube lived vicariously through a lot of channels where, there are certain channels where it's just somebody who just like shows books that they picked up, and it's just there's no face, there's really not much talking or anything. It's just I'm showing the covers and I will watch that for an hour, because that's cool.
Right.
It's like going to dig in a store. It scratches that itch without me walking out with $50 worth of stuff that later on I'm like, why did I buy all these cloak and daggers?
Yeah.
And I know they were 50 cents, but
well, that's the cool thing about comic book YouTube as well, and kind of what we were talking about previously with Heroes, is that there's so many different personalities collecting in a different way, and there's no wrong way to do it. There's their way to do it, right? Like, I mean, I'm the new comic book type of mentality. I know you guys definitely lean on the silly stuff, but also the golden age and silver age stuff. You have a real like love for the classic comics as well. There's other people that do the haul videos and the mystery boxes and stuff like that. Like, all of it's great stuff. All of it is totally worthwhile and scratches a different kind of itch for different people. Like, that's really awesome. There's not a lot of other hobbies that can do it that way. Like, you don't see, like, I don't know, sports related YouTubes out there that are just like so niche in what they are talking about to the facet that we are here. So I don't know. It's kind of cool and a unique thing.
Yeah, I just think it's such a unique hobby space. I don't, I followed a lot of different different genres, a lot of video game stuff. I don't see them doing a lot of like collaborative things.
Not
You
really,
know what I
no.
mean? Like, there's so much collaboration and like encouragement and cheerleading for each other. It's real weird, like, because the internet is such a freaking toxic place. Like, you would
Yeah.
expect, not that it doesn't exist, it certainly does, but like, for the most part, I have just found this to be a really positive experience, and that's not what you would think going in. I'm going to say my opinions about things on the internet. You don't think that's going to go well.
Yeah.
For
Whereas like most people in the comic book YouTube world will pretty much telegraph to you whether or not you're going to get along with them or not.
Yeah.
And it's different for different people. But like I'm just not on board with like the drama side of it, the overly negative stuff, and
Ugh.
it's just you can very easily stay away from it because it's pretty clearly advertised whether or not you're going to enjoy a person or not.
Mhm. Yeah,
And
if you
see,
dig it,
like
it's there for you, but, whatever.
like tabletop games, YouTube lacking collaboration just seems like a complete oxymoron.
Mhm.
Right, yeah.
You need each other to play the damn games.
I dungeon master for no one.
That's the thumbnail. I DM'd and no one showed up.
Yeah.
What am I gonna do?
I'm still
Roll for
waiting on the
initiative.
first insight check.
Yeah.
Eric, are you a gamer of any kind? Like
Little
tabletop, video, board, anything?
video games for sure. Like, I mean, I used to be more involved with it when, when time was a thing that was not as precious as it is right now. I've always wanted to play Dungeons and Dragons, and I've never found the opportunity. I want to create a rogue that is very charming by the name of Milbury. And I just never had the opportunity because there's no dungeon masters around me. So I'm stuck.
Well, you're on a panel with 2 dungeon masters right now, and we
Oh,
constantly have talked about that. Now, I'm not good, by the way. I read the books, and I just did it by default because I owned all the books. But we have constantly talked about there are many of us who either want to or do play D&D, and figuring out a way to do a community night where we do something, whether it's a one shot or whatever. But yeah, I think that would be a blast. Mr. Akins, I know, is a good dungeon master. John's Comics with Friends, he's a
yeah,
dungeon
that's what I was about to
master.
say. Yeah.
I think JSS I know he's a player, but yeah, he's a player. He's a player
Mhm.
because he keeps saying his DM's trying to kill him, but that's what DMs do, man.
Mhm.
Yeah, that's kind
our
of the point.
job.
Mhm.
It's our job. We're going to keep throwing bigger and bigger monsters at you until you have to tear your sheet in half and start a new character.
Mhm.
Um,
Or I get to tear the
so
sheet in half in front of you and laugh
while
while I
you
do it.
weep, while you weep. Eric, how old is your child? Not just
Yeah, in the
because
10-ish range.
okay, because see, like my son is 10, and like I feel like my time has really opened back up recently. In the last couple of years, I don't think I could have had a YouTube channel, before I did,
No,
because
yeah.
he just needed too much. And yeah, he and my wife are like very very supportive, that they know that I got a couple of
Mhm.
streams that I'm doing, and I'm always working on a video or two. So they afford me that time. But yeah, early on, like all of those hobbies that I used to have. I mean, Hagen has been to my house. We live in the same house. But I mean, I have an entire wall of board games, and we used to play pretty regularly. And then the baby. And then the baby. And
Yep.
it's like a habit, like those things that were there that were a big part of our lives. When you get out of the practice of having a game night, it's real easy to just keep not having a game night, even though you own 100 different board games.
Oh, yeah.
So
Well, at this
I
point,
guess what
mate, you couldn't move any of your board games. That wall has become structural. It's a load-bearing wall now.
it is part of the house. Yeah, it is actually anchored into the wall.
Part of the ship. Part of the crew.
What is it? The IKEA, the big one, the calyx or whatever they call it now.
Oh, yeah.
It's the giant one, the
Mhm.
6x6 or whatever, and it's full. It's full. I mean, I've got board games on the floor. I've got board games on top of it. I should probably, sell some of them or pass them on because we're just not playing them as much. But also, like, as he gets older, he's into that kind of thing too. Like, he's like, well, what's this one? So then those do
Yes.
come out sometimes, and that's cool, But yeah, I think you can find more time for video games or whatever your other hobby might be, but then it comes at that opportunity cost of crap. I didn't get the video done, or I didn't get as much done on it as I wanted to this week. Like, finding that time, managing your time, which was one of my questions for you, but I think you kind of answered it. Just that work, life, hobby, family balance. How do you feel about making all of that work?
I mean, it's a game of sacrifice at the end of the day. It's just where and what do you want to sacrifice? And you just got to strike that balance like that. And that's the sad thing is that the list of ideas for content, I hate calling it that, but that's what it is.
Thank you. I hate the word content. It sounds like a generic cup of something I'm giving people. Like, hey, you want content? I love it.
It feels more important than what I choose to call it, which is stupid bullshit that I make. Like that feels more.
That's closer to reality, though. Like
that's what I feel.
Yeah,
I always say videos or YouTube, and sometimes when I slip and say content, I internally cringe.
But yeah, the idea.
So you have lists.
Yeah, it's like it grows further than the amount of things that I actually end up putting out. But maybe that's also the healthy thing that we all talked about previously. Like, and you talked about board games. I didn't even think about board games kind of being a hobby, but yeah, of course. Like, yeah, we got a garage full of board games too. Like, and like we have repeats of things. Like, God, we have like at least 3 versions of Monopoly, 2 versions of Clue, like, for the basic kind of stuff. The Simpsons themed stuff, by the way, so good. It's just so good.
I have it all.
Yeah, they're fantastic. But
Jeopardy, Wheel of Fortune, Monopoly, got it all.
Oh, yeah. But it's all a game of sacrifice. Where are you going to put your time and efforts, with the finite amount of time that we all have? And you just got to strike that balance. And part of that journey is also figuring out what the heck that balance is. Because even from week to week, day to day, that could change at a moment's notice, which is, it's always fun.
But it is like, I don't know. Like sometimes
is it though? Is it though? Have you ever exported a video and then you realize that your microphone didn't pick up anything at all, and then you have to record it again? I love that balancing act. It's great.
I did a whole video on that. That was like it was
you did.
It was an unboxing too. Like
you had everyone record the audio for you, right?
It was I did. I had three people do their version of my intro, and it was absolutely hysterical. But like for a week and a half, I was devastated. Like legitimately, like when I was like, I can't believe I wasted all that time. I quit. I'm not even going to do this anymore. Not really, but like that's where my headspace was for a little bit. But on the back end, I was happy again. So even with that valley, I guess that's what I want to say is like, at the end of the day, at the end of the week, it still is fun. Like even when a couple of weeks ago, I put a video out and it is literally like my worst performing video ever. Like it took a long time for anything to happen. Right. And it never did get up very good. I changed the title. I changed the thumbnail. I did all the tricks and it still didn't land. And I said, okay, you know what I mean? Like, what else can you do? What else can you do that like it didn't work out? So just go on to the next one.
It's so funny. Like there's videos that I've put out that I've put an incredible amount of effort into editing them and like making sure that everything was pristine and precise. And they just tank. They're garbage. And then there's this one where like I call a character by one name like 17 times in the video, and it's really like this other person. Like, and I'm like, oh my God, I can't believe I've done this on the internet. And it like skyrockets and it gets all the views. And like, one of the transitions doesn't work. And I'm like, what the hell? Like what is the secret recipe to all of this stuff? Because it doesn't make any sense.
Yeah, I spend 8 hours I spend 8 hours motion tracking Brandon's face onto David Hasselhoff's body. Nobody cares. And then I spend 20 minutes filming a 15-minute video where I didn't stop once. And that's like the second best performing video on my channel. Like I have no idea what the hell the algorithm is throwing at people at any given moment. So I just elect to not care and make whatever shitposty thing I feel like making, and then we let the chips fall where they may.
Yeah, but exactly.
I think that's what you have to go in. Like, I mean, Dope says this a lot too. He's like, there's a lot of comic book guys, comic book YouTube channels that are not really focusing on the comics. They seem more focused on the YouTube. They're trying to, get their hits. They're trying to get as many views as they can. And I tend to not watch those kind of channels at all because they don't appeal to me. I would much rather watch smaller channels of people talking about things that they like. And so that's what I want to like. I don't know. That's what it just has to be fun for me. And it's a creative outlet for me. And that's my like motivator. If someone wants to watch, I'm freaking tickled. I mean, this is so dumb. We have shown 2 or 3 comic books during this entire stream, right? We've sat here and talked about everything under the sun. We still have 20-ish people watching and have like this. It cracks me up that people want to watch this, and it's awesome. Like, it's just so crazy because we always say I would sit here and have this conversation with you guys with no one watching. This has been a ton of fun.
That's the beauty of it. Like, you know, on me and Stu's show, Ink and Insights, I remember we were talking about comic books, and one of the comic books got compared to a candy bar, and it divulged into like this 45-minute like conversation about favorite candy bars and us basically poking and prodding against one another, and then the chat being like, "Nutrageous? Are you serious? Is nutrageous what you're going to throw at me right now?" It's like, but that's part of the beauty of it too, and that makes I think there's a level of authenticity that comes with this kind of stuff, right? As opposed to chasing whatever's going to like hit YouTube's sweet spot. Like, screw that. Right. Like, that's not what I'm about.
Whatchamacallits, 100 grand, Mars bars, Twix.
Ooh, 100 grand is a great answer. That's a legit great answer.
Okay, 100 grand is underrated.
Yes.
It's too much caramel.
It's too much caramel. Fuck yourself. Are you
I was
going to
say, like, I hate that I don't have control. I would be like, take this man off camera.
I mean, what I love that
you're going on the bottom
fine.
now.
That's fine. Whatchamacallit is probably my favorite candy bar and has been since I was a kid. Eric, as a fellow 80s kid, you probably remember the theme song for the commercial. That like whatchamacallit, Skidamarie. What's its name? Whatchamacallit. No.
Oh my God,
Saturday morning.
I didn't. And now I do, though.
Yeah.
Like, you untapped that in my brain. It was way back here.
That is Saturday morning cartoon muscle memory right there, man. That used to be on all the time. And it worked. They sold it to me, but it's a delicious candy bar.
It is, yeah. Absolutely.
So chat, what's your favorite candy bar? Make sure to drop it in there so that we can make fun of you and your choices too. If anyone says Almond Joy, I'm out.
Three Musketeers is the garbage candy bar for me. I'll die on that hill.
Really?
Yes.
Who wants to eat a big bar of nougat, whatever that is?
Yeah, exactly. It is like, oh no. Like, I mean, I turned down those as a child on Halloween. I'm like, that's what you have? No, thank you.
Wow.
I'll be going to the neighbor's house now.
It's like eating a chocolate pillow. What's wrong with that?
Well, I don't know. The fact that you're comparing a candy bar to something you sleep on, that right there is the problem.
It's decadent. It's comforting.
Too much caramel is like her wrists are too wristy.
Her wrists are too wristy.
Her knees are sharp. I can't deal with that.
That's when people complain about Pepsi's better than Coke, by the way. When people complain about Pepsi being too sweet, like, fucker, you're drinking a soda. What do you want?
It somehow has more sugar in it than you could fit in the physical can. I don't know how they do it, but it's like you see those health service things. They're like, this is how much sugar is in one soda, and it's like a lemonade pitcher, right?
Yeah,
you're like, how's that fit in one
sugar
can?
That is like 1 percentage point worth of density away from imploding and creating a black hole.
I think science is amazing.
I don't think it's science at all. I'm going to bring it full circle. We talked about sword and sorcery. That's where all the sorcery went to. It's all in big soda manufacturing right now. We lost it. We lost the great 80s movies because they've stolen it to make Pepsi.
Yeah. Take 5. Is that the one with pretzels in it?
I can talk about Take 5 all day. Take 5 is the sneaky best candy bar of all time. Not only that, but I've gone through a seminar on how to sell a Take 5 candy bar because it's the mature adults candy bar. It's for the candy bar for the gentleman who needs, a little bit of sugar in their life, but also likes the saltiness. I worked in a gas station and they had a Hershey's person come out and tell us how to pitch this candy bar when it first came out.
Did the Hershey's person have like a suitcase full of candy bars?
I wish. That would have been fantastic. No, you think they would be sweet too. Absolutely not. No. It was like Alec
like
Baldwin coming in on Glengarry Glen Ross. Always be
Mhm.
selling, okay? Or always be
Yeah.
closing, yeah.
always be ABC, always be clothing.
ABC, yeah.
RC, no
RC's a
way.
great cola.
I'll
RC
drink it
Cola
if
and
it's
Cheer
there,
Wine
but
are
Yeah.
sleeper soda picks.
They don't call it Royal
Cheer
Crown for
wine.
nothing.
What the hell is a Reggie bar?
Well,
I don't
hello, Google.
always be chocolating.
Yes. Chocolate
That's
is
the
the
Hershey's
closer.
motto. That is the Hershey's motto. Yeah, moon pie. It's not a candy bar, but it's legit.
I'll take a moon pie. Yeah.
Let's see. I want to see if we covered all of my stuff. We talked about summer movies and heroes. We talked about your YouTube origins and comic books. So, yeah, man, we've talked about it all. Did you have any other books you wanted to show today?
I mean, books are books. They're all fine and good. What else did I grab here?
Books are books. They're all fine and good. It's a
that's
comic book
great.
channel. Nobody cares.
Okay. I'll throw out
That's
some
all right.
recommendations, right? These aren't like, you're not going to be hunting for books or whatever. These are very easily attainable. Kaya. We talked about Conan, right? This is like Conan done by way of Jack Kirby. It's one of the absolute best comic books that is coming out on a monthly cadence, ongoing. That nobody's talking, like too few people are talking about. I talk about it constantly. Wes Craig, artist of Deadly Class, is writing and drawing this. It's fantastic. If you like classic comic books, you need to get that. Oh boy, this is a big one. This just came out. Shade the Changing Man. If you like Vertigo, this is arguably my favorite series of all time. This came out in the late 80s, early 90s when Shelley Bond was the editor over Vertigo Comics. This is written by Peter Milligan with artwork by Chris Pachalo, and it is seriously still one of the most progressive comic books that I have ever read, and I think it still kind of holds true even in today's landscape about the psyche of an individual from a madness-driven planet who kind of harnesses his superpowers based on madness. His psyche is put into the body of a comatose serial killer, and then he goes on a road trip with some people who he befriends, and cosmic chaos and insanity starts happening all over the place. It is so uniquely Vertigo. Everyone should read this. It is glorious, and this is like the first half of the series. I think they have another deluxe copy that's going to be coming out later, might be early next year at this point, but I cannot recommend that book enough.
Why did you pick, I asked you to pick 2 issues for the thumbnail, and you picked Shade the Changing Man 34. Was there a significance with that issue or cover that you really liked?
It's the cover. I love the fact that the main character is squished. It's kind of like the Dark Knight Returns cover where he's all scrunchy and scrunched down. It's kind of like that, but it feels more intentional that he is like collapsed into this. And when I talked about, the fact that I used to draw back in the day, I would like, there's that one thing that you draw over and over, like trying to emulate people's artistic styles. And I redrew that over and over. I had a cabinet back in the day where I used to keep my comics, and it was this huge white door, and I just kind of recreated it, much to my parents' chagrin, on the door itself, and they're like, oh, Jesus Christ, we're gonna have to repaint over this. But yeah, I love it. I love it so much. Kaya is published by Image Comics.
I was about to say, I think I have the Image first of Kaya #1.
Exactly. It is very good.
The artist, I've always said Chris Bacalo, but
that was one of my questions for you guys. How do you say it? Because I've said it both ways, and
I've always said,
man. I don't know.
I've always said Bacalo, but he did Death, the High Cost of Living, which
you mean
I just
Death, the High Cost of Living.
I have always liked his art.
Proof that I did.
Oh, very cool.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah,
I mean, his panel design, like the way he goes and like will do borders and things that like join everything together, or like just very interesting layouts, creative from at every level, not just what he puts in the panel, but the way he arranges and designs the panels. I just love his art.
Yeah, one of the all-time greats.
Very cool, man. All right. Well, Eric, I think it's been 2 hours,
That's like
I
max
can go.
capacity for dealing with me. So kudos.
No, it's not. Like I was about to say, like I drank a lot of coffee, but as a teacher, I'm like a camel. I can go all. I don't ever get to pee, so I never have to like take a break. But I do have, other things, and I'm sure you do as well. But I saw. Do you want to talk about anything that's coming up? I think I saw something coming up this week for you.
Yes. Okay. So yeah, you can catch me on 9 Panel Grid for all of the normal stuff that you see. Weekly comic book reviews dropping every Sunday. Comic book news on a weekly cadence as well. That's going to be dropping with the cover story. But this week, Ink and Insights used to kind of ping pong back and forth between my channel and Stu's channel, and now it is solely on Stu's channel. But that's not because I'm backing out of it. I'm still be there every Wednesday. But we're premiering a new show this Tuesday called Notes from the Editors, where it's going to not necessarily talk about the comics that come out on a weekly cadence, because we're already doing that. But this is going to be more comic adjacent, more topical about just the things we love about comics and the uniqueness about collecting, which is a lot of what we talked about, today. We're kicking things off this Tuesday, though, with the Mount Rushmore of comic book creators. So we're both tasked with bringing our 4 people who we would like to elect to be on that mountain. Yeah, it's going to be a fun conversation. The's no wrong answers, and we're hoping, we want the chat to be interactive as well. We want to get as many names out there as possible, because there's a lot of possibilities out there.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I mean, depending on how you want to look at it too. Like, are we talking like foundational? That means we got to make sure we've got golden age, or there's no silver age, and don't we have to include that if we want to get to where we are now? Yeah, I'm already thinking about it.
I can't wait to piss everyone off when I say Rob Liefeld 4 times.
Yeah, right. The Zack
Rob
Snyder
Liefeld in each of
creators.
his different eras.
Yes, exactly.
Now there's your video essay, the 4 eras of Liefeld, because it's going to take a real connoisseur to be able to discern the differences, but I'm sure you could do it.
A keen eye.
So Tuesday as well for us at 8 p.m. FOMO Squad is going to get together like always. We're going to be joined by Ricky from All Sorts of Words this week. So that's going to be fun. I could possibly have a video come out this Thursday. I'm going to say possibly, because getting editing done and being back at work this has been a rough start to the year for me in terms of like scheduling. It's actually been fine. Work is fine. My kids are good. I have a small class, which is insane, and I'm hoping that holds. But like just getting up early and my son's not in school yet, so carting him back and forth, I'm just kind of a zombie. But that's what we've got going on. Next Sunday on my channel, our guest is, I want to say, Archivist Adrift. I got to look at the calendar. Bear with me. Yep. No, next weekend it's Brandon from Mon Comics.
That's right.
There we go.
He said he would come back on.
And then so I'm gonna have to watch the Fantastic Four movie before next Sunday, because we have to talk about it with. He's gonna want to talk about it.
That's his thing. And then tonight at, I want to say 8, SideQuest Comics. Make sure you're subbed up to him, because he's got a show with me and David Garage Geek and John's Comics with Friends. We're having a teacher party and talking about comic books.
Nice.
So I don't know why that happened. I think it was kind of on accident, but it ended up working out that way. Hagen, anything for you specifically other than me and you hanging out together all the time, always, forever and ever BFFs?
I think that I'm going to have a Heroes Con walk around video out sometime this week. My goal is Wednesday or Thursday, but we shall see. Other than that, I know that I need to do a video about Matt from Impressed Comics and I went to Borderlands together, and I wanted to do a video about that. Further than that, no idea, but that's what I'm sort of thinking about. But yeah, everybody, thank you so much for watching. We had between 20 and 30 people watching the entire time, and that was really, really awesome. So thank you guys a ton for that. Yep. Be sure to subscribe to Nate from Hall Yeah if you haven't already, and Eric at 9 Panel Grid. Yeah, like I said, thank you guys so much for coming on and doing this. Thank you everybody for watching, and we will see you in the next one. Y'all take care. Bye.
Thanks, everybody.